for your freedom from a society completely devoid of dental care.
Get in, George. Let's go kill some Reds.
See, I know my history, and it looks like we are factually, historically accurate and live.
We're live! Welcome back, bros, to, well, it's not quite July 4th yet, but as close as it's going to get, the 250th anniversary of America! Yes, that was a great intro. Yeah, not only was it banging in the traditional kind of metal used back in 1776, it also had the Badger cannons, right? Which are a much overlooked part of history, right? In English, they come in, load Badgers into cannons, fire them into crowds of civilians. Oh my God, the sight. The Badgers were feared almost as much as the lack of dental care amongst the English. How you doing, Ardy? You're feeling America in your cock and balls?
Yeah, I am all right. After that ruling, I'm feeling America all right, baby. You are more American than most Americans I know, Fist. That's how I feel about America right now.
Yeah, I know. But I have been reliably informed that my opposition to gay race communism does take a few points down off the ladder.
Well,
know what I mean?
I've been reliably informed by Jeremy Boring that we're a propositional nation. So, propositionally, I would say you're an American, aren't you?
Well, yes, absolutely. I mean,
yeah, we're just a promise and an idea, and you seem to acclimate with that no problem.
Well, what kind of American are we talking about? Because there's like at least two very specific types going down, right? I'm of course the good kind, right? You know, the good old boys. Right, hanging out with other like white people, you know, shooting, drinking beer, celebrating Christ, all that, you know, all that kind of stuff, right? Not the gay race communist.
Where you're hanging out in the country, do you somewhat have roots there?
Yes,
You were telling me that.
but yeah, there's like legit shit like named after my family. It's so like, weird.
Fucking insane. Sorry, dude. The Somalians are Americans because on one hand we're a propositional nation, but on the other hand, legally anyone is just. I don't know how Jeremy Boring is gonna have to rectify that. What we are legally and what we are inside of his giant head.
Ardy, have you never been to Nagubu County? Right, the massive mountains of Lomba. Oh my God, I can't believe the racism that I'm hearing from you.
That is absolutely crazy how you just managed to be there and, like, you know, there's that many, like, roots around the white Western world that you'll encounter a name and something familiar. And you go, oh, that seems pretty familiar.
Well, it's an Anglo thing, man. You know what I mean, right? Like, you know, the Americans, proper Americans, are fucking Anglos. Like, they're the ones, you know, right? And then, you know, they're like, yeah, but what about all the other people that we, like, brought in? I mean, I don't know, man.
It's a propositional nation, as we're going to learn, okay? And, oddly enough, we're very influenced by Hebrew covenant theology, it turns out. So, believe it or not, Jeremy Boring is going to do some mood drops to us when he's describing what a heritage American actually is. In fact, he's going to say that there's no such thing as a heritage American, if you can believe it. I know actually, these are unbelievable things.
Ardy, that's not really true. I have it on good authority that the heritage Americans were in fact Moorish. everything about America was like mooish, from your Constitution to the Articles of Independence. It was all very, very mooish. If you think about it, without the moose, you wouldn't even have a country. You Johnny-come-lately such as yourselves, you just really built a country on the massive idea that the moose like imported in there first. So really, it's totally appropriate that, we govern a disproportionate share of your country.
So you have seen the Jeremy Boring video?
Seriously.
No, I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. It's obviously not that over the top, but there's definitely elements of that in there. Is all I'm saying. Okay.
Does he do the accent though? Because if you don't do the accent, it doesn't really fly right.
Oh no, he tries to lull his audience to sleep, and then all the comments say is "Good job, Jeremy! Yay, Jeremy!" I swear, and we'll cover this later on, but like when you release a video or I release a video, there's like comments that are, some of them are just obviously generic comments, but a good portion of the comments are discussing what we talked about in the video. All of the kosher centrists, all of their audience just goes, "I feel smarter after listening to this." Nothing went in. Nothing went in.
It makes me wonder, right? I don't want to be that guy that's like, herder your audience's bots or anything, but it does make me wonder, like, whether it's being padded. I guess you're never going to know.
Well, no,
because I see these videos and I roll down the comments and
they are such NPCs. An NPC is a precursor to a bot, essentially.
So you're saying they're not bots, they're just retards, and functionally there's no different. Oh, that's scary, man.
Oh, I know. Well, we've talked to the Lindsay-ites, and does it seem like anyone's home in there? The lights are on, but does it seem like anyone's home when you talk to them?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, you remember when we were covering the Lindsay-ites, right? Like back in the deep, dark history.
Oh, dude, that was way last year.
Of this channel, in the before 4 times, before the white man came to YouTube. And like, they seem to be. I was talking to someone actually on Twitter the other night, and I was this guy came up, classical liberal. Do you remember when we were like talking about him?
Clint, yes.
No, was that? No, I think Clint was someone. Was it Clint? Yeah. Anyway, right.
His name is Clint. I'm a YouTube. You're a real world historian, okay? I'm a YouTube historian. Please, this is my domain. And
he's like probably like about the only person on Twitter that I care about that's like actually like blocked me. And I was like, oh, how's he doing? Did he ever come around to like, solving the problem of the barbarian? A little bit of history, right? Like basically, right? I was like arguing with this guy. He was like, the thing about like war is you've got to like understand like what's going on. And I'm like, okay, so you're in a town, right? The barbarians have broken through your outer wall. They're like killing and raping like everyone around. What do you do, right? He's like, well, we have to understand the motivations of the barbarians.
Unironically.
Unironically. I was just like, I don't think you.
Did we cover this on stream? This back and forth you guys had? Yeah.
Yeah, it was way back. I think it was the episode after we did the James Lindsay deep dive. Because then I started arguing with all these people. And this guy, I mean, I had a lot of fun like chatting with him, like, but he could not.
It's fun to finally pick one of their brains. It's very rare one actually responds to you,
Yeah. I mean, but he just, I think basically the tabula rasa had like sunk so fully into his brain. He really seemed to believe the idea that you could go to Sudan, right, and have a reasonable conversation about like, what was it, common sense Scottish realism.
So
there's the dude with like the bone through his nose and like his Johnson like slit vertically.
The Eurocucks hate America, okay? The Americucks love the idea, the proposition of America, okay? both equally toxic to America, okay? The Americucks just love pontificating and going, oh, this author said this. Did you know this person stabbed in his heart? Did you know this person said this? It's like, yeah, okay, can we look at the reality of what's going on? Oh, the reality. That's the last thing I want to talk about. Let's talk about books, and let's talk about what this country really means, and what it means when we ask what something means, and talking about the conversation of the country. Oh my God, I'm going crazy thinking about it.
Yeah, it is like the level of recursion is like insane. It's like Inception, but with like retarded, like theoryception.
But it's all they care about. But it's all they talk about.
We're going to talk
never
about
going
theory,
deeper.
talking about theory, and then you're like, yeah, but what happens when you're on the ground and some like 70 IQ, aspiring engineer, wants to like mess you up, and they'll be like, well, you really have to talk about social and economic circumstances.
Well, that's when it becomes like the left.
Yes.
It's this ending dialogue loop, and that's why I like Eric Arval so much, because he's a legitimate philosopher. I mean, he has, I don't even know if he has a degree, but he teaches classes in certain branches of philosophy, and he gets shit done, right? So, I mean, I'll listen to that guy's philosophy.
See, that
because
was
he's actually pragmatic.
That was actually the original model of philosopher, right? If you look at the Greeks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Plato was not only a philosopher, but he was also like a massive Chad. Apparently, chat, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I recall that Plato was really fond of just going around and like showing his muscles off to people. And like a couple of times he'd try and win philosophical arguments by just, like flexing.
That is the original Chad. I mean, we say
Right,
Chad.
So,
yeah.
So this modernist like interpretation that to be like smart and bookish, you also have to be like weak, I think is actually a product of the rise in vaccination. Okay. Right.
Okay.
Which is like, so, okay. You remember that movie, Revenge of the Nerds?
Oh, yes.
Okay. So when I was going to school, back in the before times, right?
Mm-hmm.
There was like, nerds were like a very, very new thing, right? There was like a proportion of like your class, right? And they all had like asthma. They couldn't really do sports, right? Now, asthma is an autoimmune disease, right? But of course, they just said, oh, asthma must have rained from the sky like wampum. The gods are angry and smote your child with the asthma. No, it's not. It's not a fucking surprise. Like 20% of your class all has this fucking crazy.
Oh, like fucking peanut allergies nowadays.
Yeah, allergies, right? They'd have like skin conditions, like all this kind of like shit, right? And those were the kids that, because they couldn't participate in sport or anything like that, they all turned inwards into like Dungeons and Dragons and like, books and all this kind of other stuff. And then they became the nerds, basically, right? And so we got this separation between the fit in the mind and the fit in the body of something.
And I mean, let's not forget in Revenge of the Nerds, where the nerd dressed up like her. She thought it was her boyfriend, and he fucked her. You remember that? That wouldn't happen nowadays. He dressed up in a costume. It was a Halloween party, and she thought that it was her boyfriend, the big Chad guy, but it was actually the nerd. Today, we call that grape. Back then, we called it, Lewis Skolnick, pulling one off. Wow.
I have not
Different
seen
times.
That movie. I have not seen that movie in a long time. I should like fire it up and watch.
I remember all the grape scenes from all the classics.
Andrew's Animatics says that Plato was nicknamed Plato. His real name was Aristocles. Plato was a reference to his shoulder plates because his back was so massive. I have no idea if that's true. But if it is,
sounds
like,
good.
It sounds fucking like cool.
Hey, celebrating the country's 250th birthday. Okay, I'll fucking take it. If it's Chad, we let it ride.
Yeah, well, I mean, America has still survived. You guys didn't turn out like fucking Europe. I mean, okay, I guess like parts of it like are going like the European way, but there are still parts of it that aren't.
Oh, I'm probably gonna cover Frojack's talking to Mark Collette tomorrow. And something that Mark Collette said was essentially what you said, where I was talking about like, oh yeah, even in Europe they don't even have birthright citizenship, and you were in very few words you were like, it's the same. And then so Mark Collette says, well, technically we don't have birthright citizenship, and then when he said, well, technically, and over the next 5 minutes explained how they essentially do, because nothing is actually enforced. And so technically they're not citizens, they're just treated like citizens. So I was like, fist, but on the books, you're like, oh, Ardy. Ardy, out of all the times to read a book, you choose now.
You've got to understand, right? There's the shit that's written down, and there's the shit the way stuff actually works.
Right.
And one of the things about, the UK in particular is that you are just getting increasing divergence between these two things, right? Yeah. And when there's like a problem, they're like, well, what do words actually mean, really? Like, if you think about it, and they're trying to do it to America too. And
Jeremy Boring is doing that on steroids.
what does an American really even mean, Ardy? If you think about it, this Somalian that just stepped off the boat is much more American than you are. He wants to overthrow the entire government and turn it into his homeland.
Sure.
I mean, do you want to do that?
But he's running controlled opposition. So Jeremy Boring is going to be saying things that we all can agree on are true, and those things shouldn't happen. But it's still a propositional nation. That doesn't mean that we should make it about blood, because the founding fathers never made it about that way. Because do you know that Catholics and Protestants disagreed with each other? There you have it.
Really?
See?
Wow. Yeah, and they had the Anabaptists, right? Let's not forget the Anabaptists. Right?
There were disagreements, so clearly they weren't all on the same page. This is the level of argument. I think you're calling it 1.5, since now that they're really being forced to oscillate between the two. It's an actual synthesis, if you think about it.
Yeah, I mean, I did not consider this step in my sort of unified model of the way shit was going, but it seems like, we're now at like 1.5, where they're past the stage of telling everybody, oh, you can't talk about that, you're a terrible person. And so instead they're like, well, we'll talk about it, but in this very sort of vague sort of way that's full of like platitudes that doesn't really address any of the deeper. I mean,
it's like listening to a leftist talk about gender theory, where at the end you're like, that didn't answer any of my questions.
I think, like, and it annoys me to say this, but I really think that the reason why you can't have this
anything nice
conception of America at all.
Yeah.
No, is because fundamentally of the moves, right? Because if you start having any kind of ethnic or strictly religious interpretation of America, then they are worried that will affect them. That's why the door is like jammed open in this way, because they don't okay, clearly they are now starting to care that like New Yorkers fallen, right? I mean,
well, only because they've had a New York stronghold for so long, and now
that's my point.
Islamic.
That's my point.
That's the only reason why.
Because it affects them, right? They don't really care what happens.
Shabbos Kestenbaum is the pinnacle example of that.
They don't, and they'll change political parties at the drop of a hat, right? Because they're really.
But also, if the United States is a propositional nation, that's entryism for legalism, right? You can't really argue with blood and soil. Of course they can. Of course they can try, right? But if we're a propositional nation, well, it's just a matter of interpretation of the fucking 14th Amendment, where, sorry, the founding fathers didn't write it down that way, so that means that illegal immigrants can create a citizen. That's why they need us to be a propositional nation, because they can always argue and debate and morph what it actually means depending on how they need it. Only if it's a propositional nation.
Exactly. And this is why, in my opinion, right, the pullback will be stuff like banning migration from a few specific countries, but never, ever
Band-Aid concessions.
This idea that America is a propositional nation.
Yeah.
Right. I reckon they'll try and like thread the needle between, and I think this is one of the reasons why also it's so important that they always come back to culture, right? It's not a racial thing, right? All ethnicities are fundamentally the same. It's just the culture, except for Islam. Fuck those guys, right? Like they can't. But the thing is, they're being backed into a corner, because if they say Islam is bad because it's a bad religion, surely that leads to the next question. Does that mean that some religions are better than others? And if there are some religions that are better than others, right, and you do a rank ordering, would it not like improve your country to have more people of that religion? And of course, they don't want to go there, right? It's the same thing with the race thing as well. They don't want people starting to be like, well, what if we rank ordered people of certain ethnicities as like how good they are? You know what I mean?
You're going to get something expounding upon that, because as I've been reliably informed by Jeremy Boring that Judaism is Western, okay? And Islam has like this legalism to it. And they make up their own rules. I swear to God, dude. It's something like that. It's something like that, dude. The level of projection is astral.
This is gonna be like crazy. I mean,
it's really gonna piss you off. My goal is to make you as angry as humanly possible.
Oh well, look, man. I mean, that's good content. Everyone fucking like loves to listen to me fucking like lose my rag as you like torment me with this like horrible bullshit. So let's go. But before we do,
yes, let's first do some soupies and then get into
let's do some soupies, right? And then I've got an update from the UK. Right?
Oh, terrific!
You will be surprised to know that everything is going awesome over there. By the way,
I was gonna say I haven't thought about the UK in 4 days. You guys doing? Are things better since the last time I checked in?
Oh, mate, so much better, right? You wouldn't even believe like how much better things have got, right? All of this stuff that like there are problems there is just Russian bots, mate, right? It's just misinformation. And soon when they clamp down on the internet, right, with their iron
internet. Only something Moo influenced could think they could do such a thing.
Okay. Leningrad for $10.
Yeah,
Warhammer 1776. Fuck, man, that would be awesome.
Right?
Someone should literally like make Warhammer 1776. That would fucking kick ass. The president protects for the Constitution, freedom, tyranny detected. Fuck yeah. Oh, mate, that's fucking awesome, dude. Oh, I love it.
Hell yeah, dude.
Okay, let's see.
I fucks with it.
Bobby B, member for 9 months. Thank you very much,
Hello
mate.
there.
Fist, use our open immigration system to your advantage. Bring the family, bring the friends. We need all the fellas we can get in last stand to stand. Thank you very much, Bobby. Kudzu Warrior for $50.
Whoa! And ladies and gentlemen, fellers, no fellettes. We have, in fact, our first Chad
now
of
the
the
Chad does what the Chad wants, and no one is stopping him because Chad does what Chad wants.
Thank you.
No one is stopping him. Look at this guy.
I can't do anything about him.
Dropping these girthy super chats. How can
I'm at his whim.
How can he be stopped? We need like some kind of commission to get together.
It's a stick up right now. Okay, fine. What do you want? I can't do anything.
like stick up like here's some money. Read my super chat.
Oh, please don't hurt me.
Please don't hurt me. Kudzu Warrior for $50. Do moves run the insurance racket? 3 years I paid for my vision insurance and not once used it, and they have never sent me an ID card for it. Don't show me a number in the online portal, and can't tell me over the phone what it is, so I can use it. Yeah, I mean, a lot of insurance is fucking like that, right? Like,
insurance, so they didn't invent our legal system, but they invented legalism in our system. Okay,
yeah.
So a lot of these things that don't make sense, it would be an endless research stream that we could do of where these things originate from.
I mean, I think, okay, I would have to do research on this. This is just off the top of my dome.
Yeah,
but I would be willing to make like a reasonable assumption that they start with all these different legal systems, but what they make all converges back to like one basic legal system. So you could probably look at legal systems in all these different countries, and what they turn it into always winds up being basically the same. Thank you, Kudzu Warrior. Oh,
thank you, my dude. I think of you.
Deep Calm, Virgin.
Hello there, mate.
He's deeply calm. I was laughing to myself today thinking about what Clarence Thomas says about Ketanji Jackson when he gets home from work. Oh, I know, right? And Uncle Ruckus style Mad Lib sort of thing. It's fun. Give it a shot. Yeah, I know. I was thinking that as well, right? It's like, Martha, I had to deal with that crazy woman again. Actually, no, wait.
Well, no, because have you seen that black newscaster that like has a like really white voice and then a fly goes in his mouth and he's like, "What the fuck is that, goddamn motherfucker? Country motherfucking town." But like when he's talking as like a newscaster, so right out of San Bernardino High School, and so I assume that Clarence Thomas goes so hood when he gets back to his house.
Yeah, but he's got some proper bass in his voice. Look, we should dig up that clip. Do you ever seen that clip where it's in his confirmation hearing, right? And Joe Biden is up there calling him a grape ape, like to his face, right?
I didn't. No.
You've never seen that?
I saw him say he'd rather die. I saw Clarence Thomas say he'd rather die, not because he even wants to serve the position, but because he's being bullied. He's like, I'd rather die and like fuck this position. I just don't tolerate being bullied. So fuck your position. I'm not backing down. You'll have to kill me because you're trying to bully me. It was
Yeah,
like
yeah,
so
yeah. No,
fucking
no,
Chad.
it's amazing, right? Like he's like the amount of like poise and self restraint. It's just like, mate, you gotta give respect. Matty Ice for $10. Thank you very much,
Hello
mate.
there, mate.
We'll catch the stream later. Catching up with family. Oh, I hope your family's like good, man. I hope you're having a great time.
Nice.
Happy Independence Day to our economic zone, which stood up against fists on the proposition of being vaguely nice and HR compliant.
That's all we are.
Very true reading of history. Thank you very much, Maddie. James Lindsay's hands for $10.
And what a pair of hands they are.
Our favorite pair of hands, praying hands. America is a propositional nation that only should use force to protect the interests of its greatest ally, which is also a propositional
Unironically,
nation.
that's what it
Oh,
is.
wait. No, Israel is not a propositional nation for some weird reason. No, what was it? Lindsay said that Israel is a covenantal nation.
Yeah.
But they're allowed to be ethno-nationalism.
But they're
because a
also
covenant-
blood and soil.
Yeah.
They always get the duality. We have to choose one or the other.
Ardy, a covenant is not the same as a proposition. Thank you very much, right?
A covenant's a promise, right?
Yeah,
You made a
that's right.
promise.
Right. Whereas, America wasn't promised. It was just sort of proposed
Well,
one day, right? In the bar, like, over like a beer. They're like, hey, I've got a proposition for you all guys.
I'm going to warn you
How
now.
about America.
I'm going to warn you now. Jeremy is going to read the oath, okay, that you have to recite when you come into this country, okay?
This is really gonna fucking annoy me, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Good to warrior, member for 1 month.
I like it, brother.
Don't speak the name of the devil, Ardy. With a name like Shabbos, he has to be the earthly incarnation.
Dude, it is incredible. Where he even called himself Mooey Moostein because of his name. He understands what he is.
And a rat named Mouse for $5. Thank you, mate.
I like you, bruv.
I have recently learned that my last name is apparently a common Sephardic Jewish surname. They infiltrated my family. I can't trust anyone.
Even myself. I can't trust anyone, even myself. It does get to that point.
Listen. Don't worry about it, mate. Right? Like, just remember the Germans. Right? They had a very complicated chart. You can always look that shit up.
Hey, at least we're not speaking German. All right.
Yeah. At least we're not speaking German. Instead, we're going to be speaking Somalian. And at the end of the day, isn't that what it's all about, bro?
Oh, Fist. You think I'm going to be speaking one language? Why, in the Boston school system, there's 77 different languages. And in the New York City school system, there's over 116 languages that they speak. Did you know that?
You learned every single one, didn't you, Ardy? Because that's how that works, right?
I think that's too many. I think that's too many to learn. I'm still trying Spanish, okay?
See, that's why...
Entiendo un poco.
That's why white people be stupid. Because they can't learn 177 different languages.
Dude, I would get into these arguments in 2017 with leftists, and I'm like, dude, people don't even speak English around. They're like, learn Spanish, and I was like, these people are insufferable. Yeah, that's really gonna fly with the average person to have to learn a new language in their own country. Incredible.
Mm-hmm. Right, so the UK is going awesome, going absolutely great. Here is a latest just retarded thing. So for ages, the UK police have been going around basically arresting the victims of crimes, right? Which reminds me, tomorrow night I'll be releasing an interview that I did with Not Me, Not You from the Old Glory Club, where we talk about the 3 different kinds of evil, right?
Very
and
nice.
The second kind of evil is named after Ahriman, which is the Zoroastrian evil god.
If that is his real name.
Yeah, if that is his real name. And it's when everything gets inverted, right? Good becomes evil, right? Love becomes hate, all this kind of other stuff, right? And this is it. Look at this. This is the complete inversion of what the cops are supposed to be for.
Attacker 1, Attacker 2. Attacker 1 pulls victim to floor. Attacker 1 walks off. Attacker 2 punches victim. Victim gets back up. Foyd cop comes in and shoves victim. Oh! Incredible. So, hello, Fist. I think you're muted if you are speaking.
Sorry.
Yeah.
And here comes the small angry policewoman to arrest the person who was just attacked.
She saw what happened. She had to have saw what happened. She was right
yeah.
there. And
Yeah.
you should only act that way if you saw what happened. Why would you act this way if you have no idea what happened? Wouldn't you ask a question first?
I mean, she literally, right, like contacts him before he even gets up. Look at this, right? He's
She
just
pushes
been
the lady
attacked.
out of the way to get to him.
And just like bam, right? Like
And he had
straight
just
into
been
it.
assaulted, so he doesn't know who this is in front of him.
Yeah.
Oi, 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 oi!
You lot fucking
So as soon as he recognizes that it is a cop, right?
Yeah.
He stops hitting her, right? That
He
was
could
clearly,
beat
like,
the shit out of her so easily.
that was clearly a reflexive action, right?
Yeah.
He's like, oh, you know, what are you arresting me for? Well, being attacked while white, right? We take this kind of stuff very seriously in the UK. All right, what do you think? Just standing around being white, getting like attacked? Don't you know that's illegal?
No, I see.
Right, put your hands
I'm trying to move that way.
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm trying to move that way, bro. What?
You just fucking punch.
I like how she can't make him do it, so she really has to ask him to put his hands behind his back.
So the second cop, right, has walked up. I mean, I don't know. I presume the people that attacked him have already like buggered off, right?
Yeah, they're in.
All of these witnesses clearly saw what happened. Okay. Now, Ardy, do you think that the small angry policewoman in question interacts with or asks any of the witnesses about like what happened?
Well, no, she already knows what happened. Judging by her behavior, she clearly seems like she already knows what happened, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because why else would you make such an aggressive move?
I mean, it does make sense. There was a white guy there, right? So clearly, you know, he was the one who, you know, was to blame.
Look at him allowing her to hold him still.
Yeah, I
There's
know.
nothing
right?
she can do. He's allowing all of this to happen.
That way, bro. What the fuck? Gee, what the fuck, bro? Gee, I'm my nan's ashes. I'm trying to move that way, bro. They're trying to fucking smack me up, bro. What the fuck you want, huh?
Excuse me.
Just ignoring him. Trying to explain what happened.
Another white man trying to get involved, right? You know, because that's what whites do, right? They hang together like that, right? You can't trust them, right? If one white guy is like involved in an altercation, all the other white guys will like cover up for him, right?
Yeah.
On him, so...
Gee, I'm a little brother's life, bro. What the fuck? I'm trying to go home, bro. What the fuck? I'm trying to go home, bro.
Right, put your arms straight.
Please, I'm trying to go home, bro. What the fuck? Gee, please, I'm
Well, the
trying to
time
go
is
home.
1:30.
Look at the faces on the witnesses, man. Right?
Oh, I mean-
There's none of that look where like people see like someone get what they fucking deserve.
Right.
They're all like, oh my god, like look at this fucking crazy bin.
Please,
Stop, please.
please, I'm
Don't
trying to
say
go
it in my own
home.
defense.
Please, I'm trying to go home. No, please, I'm trying to go home.
Yeah, we're gonna walk to the car.
Gee, what the fuck, bro? I'm trying to go home.
Gives her her hat.
Car, you dick.
What the fuck, bro?
You dick.
Please.
Yeah,
dick.
very, very professional way of like dealing with the public. I was like, I mean, just look at these like two.
Oh yeah,
tiny
the aggression from this male cop.
Don't worry, bros. All right, the Chadley male police officer is here. Right, like once he shows up, the order will be restored.
Get in the car. In the fucking car. Put your legs in. What's your fucking behaviour about?
Oh, mouthy.
Punch you in there.
What's wrong?
You do anything, you get dropped. That's fine. You understand? Anything on you that's no? You got anything on you?
Look how many women there are.
Dude, that's
One,
a majority
2,
women.
3, 4. Is it like 5 women? And there's like 1, 2. Look at this guy on the right. It's like 2.
Yeah, but there's only one big bitch. The other women are very throwable.
So there's one actual police officer surrounded by a crowd of like 7 Soyim. Dude.
Someone clotheslined him, and then someone hit him from behind, and that's when you went in. And all I can say in his defence, he probably thought you were one of the attackers
Right.
at that moment.
Okay. So somebody just
Like she doesn't know
first,
that.
right?
Yeah. I'll jump.
Well, you're not the are you, babe?
After
Yes,
reviewing
you'd
the
be
footage,
released.
yeah, you would think
You'd
you'd
be
be released.
wrong.
So pause this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so, what is this?
This is,
Birmingham police.
This is like hang on. This isn't the real tweet. Okay, so this is the real tweet from
Yeah.
Birmingham police. Right? We don't take kindly to whites getting attacked. That's a crime. Being attacked while white, very, 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 very much of a crime. We are aware of footage showing the arrest of a man after a disorder on Broad Street. Officers found a group of men fighting. As the incident was dealt with, an officer was punched. One man was arrested and charged with assaulting a police officer. Now look at that stunning and brave picture there, right? That is the face of UK policing. A small brown Muslim man and a soy foid proudly standing up.
And back in the day when there was just newspapers, that would have been the rest of the story, wouldn't it? That's all you would have read about it.
Yeah,
until
that's
Elon
right.
Musk had to come along.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. This has been like community noted all to hell, right? And then Birmingham police so it starts doing the rounds, obviously, right? Birmingham police is like
11 million views, by the way.
Oh yeah, the incident has been reviewed, and we have no concerns over the officer's actions, and we are satisfied that they were reasonable and proportionate in the circumstances. We would ask that footage is not further shared to allow the legal process to take its course. This is Twitter. You're literally waving a red rag at a bull, right? To be like, oh, please do not share this footage.
Did readers add any context they thought people might want to know?
Yes, the footage in question disproves the police's account of the incident. It is in the public interest for it to be shared far and wide to ensure a just outcome for the male who has been arrested and aid him with any civil action he may wish to take against the police.
Don't think it is, mate.
Oh my God.
Things are changing.
Just the replies. The replies are just like everyone's been reposting this. Now, I just wanted, on this 4th of July,
Yes.
you and Mara Bros, right? I want, I want to sort of like berate you a little bit, right? Talk down
Thank
to
you.
you, right? In a patronizing manner, okay?
We got thick skin.
Because you don't have the kind of enlightened legal system that we have in the UK, right? The Euro cucks look down on the Ameribros, and for good reason, might I add, right? Your filthy ideas of self-defense, your idea that you can own your own firearms, don't you know that you need to entrust all aspects of your safety to the soy state? That's what enlightenment means, bro. So I found this in one of the replies to this, right? This is a page from Harris Solicitors, a law firm in the UK.
Yeah.
Understanding self-defense law in the UK.
Interesting.
Do you think it's like easy to understand, right? Like, I mean, right.
I'm sure it's reasonable.
Navigating self-defense laws in the UK can feel overwhelming. Gee. Especially when you find yourself in a threatening situation, because it's too complicated to parse in the moment, right? It's just impossible. Like, you're going to get fucked either way, right?
Yeah, if I'm traveling there, I want to know what I should do when I'm attacked.
You should lie down and let the attacker beat the crap out of you, especially if they are not white, Ardy. Okay?
Well,
I want to make this very, very clear, okay?
This is embarrassing.
If they are not white and you defend yourself in any way, shape, or form,
Yep.
might have done a racism, okay?
Well, you might want to read your own country's laws a little better next time, Fist. I've been doing some reading. It's surprising to you. And I am going to be armed with a whistle so everyone can watch me get the shit beaten out of me. I'm going to have an alarm that goes off. I think that's all I can do, right?
Yeah.
It's have some sort of alarm that goes off.
It basically is, right? You can push them away. Knowing
Push them away.
Knowing these laws is
Might hurt 'em.
important to ensure that your reaction to a threat is not only effective, but also legal. Very, very important. This guide is designed to simplify self-defense laws in the UK, answer frequently asked questions, and offer practical information that can help you understand your rights. You have the right to get stabbed up. Basically, right? That is your most fundamental right, okay?
Okay, good.
So you do have a right to self-defense in the UK, right? This is going back to what, I was talking about earlier about how like the laws as they are written and the laws that as they are applied are like two completely different things, okay? The primary laws surrounding self-defense in the United Kingdom are found in Criminal Law Act 1967. The law permits individuals to use reasonable force to protect themselves or others from imminent harm. However, reasonable force is a flexible concept and depends heavily on the context of each situation. So this is the point. Right?
You have to be after they shoot you, then you can push them.
Yeah, basically, right? No one really knows what fucking reasonable force is. Every single altercation is potentially like open to.
Oh, they know. Just depends on what tier you're in, mate. What tier are you?
Yeah. It is crucial to differentiate between preemptive self-defense and retaliatory actions. Self-defense should be an immediate response to a current threat rather than a reaction to prior incidents. So if someone has like assaulted you 10 times previous, okay?
Right.
And they come up to you menacingly and you like punch them, right? That is totally illegal.
Well,
because every single incident is like its own little universe.
Right, but what if I've been attacked before, so I'm carrying around a self-defense weapon? Is that
carrying around a self-defense weapon? That's premeditation.
Are you being serious?
Immediately. Yeah, I am.
That's considered premeditation.
Yes.
If I have something just in case something happens.
Yes.
Because that means I intended to use it, even though I didn't want to have to use it. Am I understanding this correctly? Okay.
Yes. And
that's crazy.
The definition of a weapon can be literally anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep. They go down to sports equipment. They go down to fucking...
Yeah. So self-defense legally allows individuals to protect themselves or others as long as the force used is necessary and proportionate. For example, if an aggressive person who is unarmed confronts you, responding with light physical force might be justified. Might be justified.
Still
might.
Yeah.
Right? There's no hard and fast law. So I think this is one of the reasons why the whole sort of like race, like two-tier justice thing has become so prominent, because you cannot expect a 95 IQ cop to understand any of this. Okay, you need some kind of like black or white quickly applied rule. And so to replace
like the blacks against the whites,
just literally, it's just become like if white person bad, if colored person good, and that's how it works on the ground. Okay, so I mean, look at this, right? When evaluating a self-defense claim, courts will look at several factors. So you're going to go to court, right? It's not like where you're in America where, right, like there's a clear self-defense and they're just like, okay, off you go then, right?
Yeah.
No, you are going to like court, okay? And they will interrogate the immediacy of the threat, right? Was your response justified? The nature of the force used. If someone is pushing you, responding with a push or a shove is more appropriate than physical violence. And alternative options.
Well, so hold on.
Right?
This allows the attacker to set the tempo of violence then.
Oh, absolutely.
So they can become more violent, and you can only match their violence. You can never exceed their violence to end the violence, is what it sounds like. This is
absolutely.
Logical deduction I think a 15-year-old would have.
And the courts will assess whether there were safer alternatives available. For example, if you have the opportunity to leave the situation safely, using force might not be viewed as reasonable. And by the way, they generally, when they're talking like property crime, basically like you should just let them have all your shit, right? So them stealing shit from you is generally not regarded as like a reasonable thing to prevent with force. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, look, basically, right? It's very, very much on your perception. I thought this would amuse the Ameribros. What self-defense weapons are legal in the United Kingdom, right? When considering self-defense in the United Kingdom, it is vital to know which weapons are legal to carry. Pepper spray is prohibited. It is illegal, right? Personal alarms, such as rape whistles and sirens that, just make noise. These are legal and strongly recommended as they help to deter attackers
They don't.
and alert others.
What can others do?
Well, this is the
what are others? All it does is go, hey, everyone, you want a fucking show?
I mean,
That's all it does. Hold on. I love how they things are so restrictive that they have to tell you that you thought that maybe you couldn't even make a noise too loud. They had to explain to you that you can do that.
Well, we were going to ban personal alarms on the basis of noise pollution. We did decide, while you're being like severely beaten, to be able to like have like a little whistle or something, right? Little cuck whistle. Carrying a knife is illegal, obviously, right? And using it is very illegal. Sports equipment items like baseball bats can be owned legally, right?
Owned legally.
We wanted to ban all tools, but we were advised that might negatively affect the economy. But using them violently may lead to legal trouble. Will lead to legal trouble, right?
A baseball bat can be owned legally.
Yes.
Why?
Yes.
Why is that being said out loud?
You cannot use a gun for self-defense for any reason in the UK, right? Doesn't matter like what, right? Someone's coming at you with a gun, you've got a gun, you cannot use it in self-defense, right?
So they can shoot you with a gun, but you can't shoot them with a gun.
Yes. I don't look, give it a try, right? when you get to court, maybe the judge will say it's reasonable, maybe not. Are you feeling lucky?
But he was behaving like an animal. Did you see what he was doing? I was shooting an animal.
Now, this is the important part. If excessive force is deemed to have been used, criminal charges may apply, including assault or even manslaughter, if the harm resulted in significant injury or death. So if you fuck this up, right, you are going to get done.
Now, when you say fuck this up, protecting my own life is what you're saying, right?
Yes.
Okay. Making sure I stay alive, yeah.
Or, you don't pay for the right lawyer, or you get a judge who doesn't like you, or you get a judge
or I'm
who's
white.
Maybe racist, or you're white.
I think we can really, simplify that. You're needlessly complicating that.
So, basically, right, like it's too complicated, right? Like, no.
Oh, classic. That is a rich man right there. I swear they use the same white guy that's the robber in every video, every picture. It's always a guy that looks like that.
This is exactly what crime looks like in the UK, by the way, right? You definitely have just random sort of like well-kept white dudes going around like robbing other like white women. It happens all the time, bros, right?
I know, but like
so, yeah.
the way that he's dressed is for him to break into an apartment because he has gloves on. It's the middle of the day. He would be looking like that. He would be breaking into an apartment. That's not even how someone dresses to steal a purse from somebody. Nothing about this makes any sense.
Cursed clip art. Right. Okay. So
Terrific.
right. You've all been told, Americans, all right?
Well, hold
how
on.
your
Hold
system
on.
of so-called self-defense.
Are you going on to Moo Watch right now?
Yes, that is.
Hold
correct.
on. No, not yet. I wanted to tie in why the whites have to collectivize, okay? And it's because of things like that. So I want to bring up my boy Hermes over here, okay? Sorry, that was a black bashing herself on through the guarding doors to get onto the subway. I'm sorry. I'm gonna put on Hermes right now, okay?
This is terrible.
Sorry, that was a black trying to sneak on the subway. Again, this time trying to sneak underneath the doors. Here he is. Okay. Now I'm gonna play our boy Hermes over here to try to unify the race first or in religious first white fellows across the West.
So lately online, I've been seeing a lot of this European on European violence, basically. They keep attacking each other over the most bullshit fucking things. I understand Europe has it's never been united, and there's always been brother wars. And Europeans are just competitive in spirit. They're extremely nationalistic. They want what's best for their country and people, and they always want more. I understand that. And that's one of the best things about the European people and how much they've done for society as a whole. But right now, that's not a time and place. Maybe in the past, there was some point of doing that, and, we went through that time. But I saw, some posts online about, like, the Christianity, paganism debate. It's like Christianity built the West, and then people saying, oh, we have to return back to the pagan roots. And I see both, sides of the spectrum. Personally, I'm not Christian or pagan, but I'm a very spiritual person, and I think,
Fellas, I think you would make fun of me if I said I was a very spiritual person, okay, and not an atheist. But, so I want to draw the line right now.
Spiritual people.
It's tough, dude. That's tough. And it's, it's like a deist. I kind of believe in something. That's why I draw a hardline atheist, okay? So what I want the Christian fellas to understand is that there's two types of pagans that I'm learning about, okay?
Mm-hmm.
There's pagans that hate Christ. Can't work with them. I'd never ask you to work with a pagan that hates Jesus Christ, okay? However, I have having a lot more of these conversations in my comments, pagans being like, I don't hate Christ, I'm completely willing to work with Christians, okay? So in the same way you might not necessarily write off an atheist, such as myself, right? There are a growing amount of pagans that aren't like the shitty, hating Christ pagans that are out there, right? I just want to make that distinction perfectly clear because I have had horrific interactions with Christ-hating pagans, okay? They're like worse than moose, dude. Like when you hate Christ, you turn into a moo. They're fucking vicious.
They're crazy.
Yeah.
Man.
That's not the pagans that I would ask anyone to align with. However, I have been meeting more and more reasonable pagans. So I would discern which pagan you're dealing with if you are dealing with a pagan.
Okay.
it should come to what you believe, and you shouldn't be trying to push it outward to other people. I understand it can be a uniting force, but right now we just have to be united by our race, by our people. That's what's important. That's what is being under attack. It's not these religions. Let's put that to the side for now. We can figure it out later. Let's forget about the brother wars, even though some of them were extremely brutal. And you could go to any European country and ask people about basically any neighboring country around them. They're going to have something bad to say. And I understand that 100%. And I'm not saying forget about it, but let's unite with under the common enemy. We clearly have a common enemy that is a lot more destructive than our brother countries are. So please remember that. And before you post some bullshit shitting on an American, Australian, another European country, remember, we're all fighting the same battle.
So I understand what he's saying, and I think that that's why there's a place for people that are race first to, like, they have a very much a sense of urgency, and they're kind of consequentialist where they don't care how they get it done, which a lot of Christ followers would be like, dude, what is your morality that you're all unifying around when doing that, right? So obviously there's going to be a push and pull with that, but
I mean, look, I'm kind of down with that, to be honest, right? The thing is that a lot of the Soyim are white, okay? Yep. And, okay, so, you know, I share, like, you know, racial, ethnic component with them, but they are merrily trying to, like, destroy everything. So, this leads to this problem, right? Like, you know, which would I feel closer to, right? Mm-hmm. Like, you know, a Mediterranean, like, say, a Persian Christian or a white communist. I mean, like, you know, I'd feel closer to the Persian Christian, right?
Easily, yeah.
So, but yes, I mean, I don't think the internecine warfare is a good idea at the moment. But on the other hand,
hating Christ is a line, though, because I'm trying to meet a decent communist or a decent person that hates Christ. 0 for 1,000 so far. Okay.
Yeah.
I haven't met one. Now, speaking of a tough white, okay, and I'll make this quick, okay, and then we'll do supers after this. Owen Schroyer released this video, okay.
So once again, we see the new MAGA coalition, which consists of Conservative Inc., neocons, and foreign loyalists, complaining that socialists and foreigners are winning elections in the United States of America. Well, guys, you have no one to blame but yourselves. This is literally all your fault. All you had to do was stop prioritizing foreign and special interests, but you couldn't do it. All you had to do was keep us out of another war in the Middle East, but you just couldn't do it. So you did that, and now Democrats are winning elections, and now it's socialists, and now it's foreigners. You guys did that, and we warned you this exact thing would happen, and you bitched and complained and said you didn't need us and called us names. Well, now here you are. You realize you've screwed the pooch, and your argument is, well, vote for Republicans. At least we're not Democrats. Vote for Republicans. They're not liberals. They're not progressives. That doesn't work. That's not selling anybody. And even if you could convince people like me in the media for this cause, it wouldn't change anything. It's already over. The perception is the Republican Party will always prioritize foreign and special interests and war, and then ask you to vote for them again after they campaign on.
Now, poor Owen Schroyer. You know, that gets 3 million views. You think people are listening to what he's saying?
Nah.
It's time to own up, MAGA. He's on his soapbox. It turns out not a single person heard anything he said because of how ridiculous he looks. Now, I don't know why he did that with his hair and with his mustache specifically. I swear that he could have done the hair, but that mustache is concerning. For 48 hours, all I saw was people not talking about what he talked about. They were just making fun of his ridiculous hair and his silly pedo mustache. I'm sorry, dude. I'm sorry. And it happened over and over again. It's all... Nobody listened to a fucking thing he said. And he was getting up on his soapbox. And just... What were you going to say?
I think it's the color contrast as well, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think it's also the hairline? There's so many aspects to it.
No. Okay, but like you think about it. Okay, if his hair had been dyed like dark brown, right?
Yeah.
And the carpet matched the drapes, so to speak.
Sure.
It wouldn't be as jarring. But it does. He looks like a suspicious gym teacher, right? Of the kind that was like everywhere in the 1980s.
I got that one right there.
It's a very
every single one was covered. Any possible joke was made. Owen Schroyer, also known as Cohen Schroyer. Dude, nobody will ever remember what he said from that fucking video, dude. It's incredible. It keeps going, dude. Oh, this is great. This is from Silence of the Lambs. And it's really the type of mustache. That's what I'm saying. See, without the mustache, he would be less creepy. But it's the type of mustache that's on there. So anyways, he responds to the backlash of everyone ignoring everything he even said, being like, dude, what is wrong with you? Are you having like a midlife crisis?
Had a lot of people commenting on my video from yesterday, concerned about me, thinking I'm having a midlife crisis. And you know what, guys? I am. It's true. I'm having a midlife crisis. You see, we've got a country that is $40 trillion in debt. The interest payment alone on that debt is $1 trillion annually. And by the way, if you or I ran a business or our personal finances like that, we'd be fired from a job, probably investigated, and considered a miserable failure as far as finances are concerned. But it's okay when our government does it. That's not changing. You know, I was told no new wars. We got another war in the Middle East. We've won it 38 times. I don't know how many times we have to win it. I was told we'd have cheaper energy, cheaper gas, but that's not the case. For the most part, America is hardly affordable for a lot of people living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford to buy a house. Yeah, I'm having a midlife crisis, all right. I was told there would be mass deportations. You know, the last administration let 20 million people into this country. Arguably the largest land invasion in the history of the world. I was told there would be mass deportations. We haven't even deported 1 million people. Less than 5%.
Yep.
Just dye your hair.
Dude, it's still so tough to listen
I
to.
am dead serious, right? Go up to fucking Walgreens or whatever, right? Get some fucking brown hair dye and just dye your... You are too pale to be rocking that hair color, right? It just looks weird and freaky.
Dude,
like,
look at how beautiful of a man he can be, okay? He's got a lot to work with, right?
Yeah.
His natural hair color, light brown, dirty blonde, he can clean up, okay? He really is having a midlife crisis, I think. He's, like, when you have a midlife crisis, you could be a great father. You have to act like you're not paying child support, even if you're still together with your wife, okay? You have to look like you're skipping child support payments and you just bought a Mercedes. Otherwise, it's not a midlife crisis.
He looks a bit like a down market Joe Exotic.
Anyways,
I hate to say it. Like, the thing is, we watched that debate that he was on, the boomers versus the zoomers, and he was like properly done up. He had a suit on. He looked magnificent,
dapper,
actually, right? Like,
yeah.
Oh, mate, did a woman talk him into? I bet a woman talked him into this. I mean, don't worry, baby. Everyone on the internet will love your new look.
Yeah, she told him to shave, but he goes, I'm keeping a mustache at least. I'm not fucking shaving my whole beard, woman. All right, I'm keeping a mustache at least. It must have gone like that.
Mate, the internet is a cruel mistress.
I love how you still couldn't listen to what he was saying.
I can't. It's so distracting.
I know,
I can't even.
Anyway, for those that could listen to him, he's like, yeah, I am having a midlife crisis. And he talks about all the dog shit going on in the country. I thought it was funny, but that was a very interesting choice by him. If you want me to do Subies and then go on to Moo Watch, baby.
Moo Watch. Okay, right. Yes, let's do some like Subies. Okay. Leningrad for $5. Thank you very much, mate.
How are they?
The way you can exploit a proposition to expropriate someone according to their own standards is a Merchant of Venice times Alinsky crossover. Ooh. Yeah.
They do like synthesizing. I'll give them that.
The Merchant of Alinsky. And Leningrad again. I'll give him a cheer. I mean, that's true.
That's only fair.
Sure,
the moos aren't fair, but we're fair. Okay, we make up for that.
That's right. This nanny state shit is demoralizing. Your cops are literal high school busybodies, making sure only victims and not bullies are punished.
Yes.
Yeah.
Leningrad is really good at encapsulating things in a small chat.
It's so bad that I'm not even sure like how the government can keep like unless they're just going to pivot.
Well, now that there's visibility,
unless they're just going to pivot into like just complete tyranny and just be like, yeah, we know, like, you know, fuck you, right, kind of like thing. They're going to have to like at least try and do something. But it's going to take ages.
It's becoming tyranny with the visibility by going, you know, calling him a dick. Like the way that they're talking to him is feeling very tyrannical.
But it's one thing to run a tyranny, right, when no one really knows about it, right? But running like a tyranny while pretending to be a democracy when everyone can see it is a much, much trickier proposition.
They are really, really mad at Elon Musk. They are panicking behind the scenes to do something about that.
JLM Knight for 5 Canadian loonies. Thank you, mate.
Bruv.
But why the vitriol after they subdued the guy?
Oh, he's tyranny. White. Oh, because they hate him.
Because he's white.
Hatred. You know how they accuse us of being hateful? Yeah. That.
And foids, right? So what happens is the foids get all flustered, and then the male cop comes along, and he's like, why aren't you obeying the foids? Right? And then he gets all like brutish, right? And the foids respond to the brutality. This is why you shouldn't have female police, because the female police will actually enjoy the male police doing brutality. It's a very, very bad dynamic. You don't want that shit. JLM Knight for another 5 Canadian loonies. Thank you, mate. That Birmingham tweet would have been rated true by the Moo fact checkers. Yeah, it absolutely would have. Like back in COVID times.
I know, but hold on, but I just think it's funny is that the fact checks now are just like the police are lying. That's not true. It's not even, you know, it's not like a math equation, or it's not something that's even, it's societally true is what the fact checks are now. It's like we all saw what happened on camera and the police didn't have to do that, so it's actually justifiable that this person has a civil rights violation. Like that is a white fact check in terms of like the rights of an individual.
Yeah, well, they're written by actual people now, not like, you know, Commie Soyam. Leningrad for another $5. Thank you very much.
Bruv.
No wonder the UK spawned 1984. You're basically living it right now. Absolute Kafka trap state. Yeah, it's great. You know, I can't.
It's
complain.
great for you right now.
Oh, just loving it. Like, oh, mate, just the diversity. You know, did you know we've got like human meat in our kebabs? Oh, it's glorious.
You have to realize he fled to the United States to share our 250th birthday with us. Isn't that incredible?
That's right. And it's goddamn awesome. God bless America.
Right?
Dill Wheat for $5. Thank you very much. Charles Bronson would have been like a Batman figure if he was walking around right now. Yeah. Yeah. I'm just waiting for someone to make like a version of like Citizen Vigilante that's like set in the UK. I mean, I don't know how they'd be arrested for even like making it, but I mean, I don't know. Maybe some patriot can make it with AI or something. I don't know.
Right.
Coffee Cat. Oh, it's a cat with coffee. Aw.
Gets it every time.
He's eepy, and so he needs his coffee. Yeah, for $5, Death Wish, but it's set in the UK. Charles Bronson just blows a whistle while getting beaten for 90 minutes. Oh my God.
That's great AI.
Oh,
that's a solid 1 minute video.
Oh, dude, brutal. Andrew Corrigan for $5. Thank you, mate.
Thank you, bruv.
The knife was only 60 centimeters inside your body. It's got to be 70 centimeters inside you before you're allowed to defend yourself. Thank you very much. See, Andrew Corrigan here, he's a student of the way the law works in the UK.
Them's the rules, I reckon.
That's right. Thanks very much. Frankenstack for $20.
Hello there, mate.
Woot woot. Hey Fist, have you ever read The Napoleon of Notting Hill? It's a book about a dystopian future in 1984 where the people have no faith and don't care about what happens to them. The king is elected at random and no one rebels. I have not. Wait, let me.
That's nice and dystopian.
Hang on, The Napoleon.
Does that
of
tickle your
Notting
dystopian button?
It does. I mean, I like. Oh, here we go. The Napoleon of Notting Hill.
What year?
Thank you very much, Frankenstack. I will check that out. Oh, it's by G.K. Chesterton. I will definitely fucking read that. Thank you so much, man.
Very nice.
So, look, a super chat and a book recommendation. See, fucking, he knows how to like tickle. He knows how to tickle me. Fancy. All right, you know what I'm saying?
Tickle you.
Zafari. Hey, Zafari. How
There
you
he
doing?
is.
Oh wait, I didn't.
Paying his black tax. Thank you.
I missed the thing. There you go.
Not a problem.
We need a black Pepe or something.
Oh my god, yeah, just literally put blackface on him.
British cops had the luxury of dealing with a fairly sane populace. They don't even carry guns. This made them gayer than American cops somehow. Now that was some pressure the insanity shows. Well, yes, the reason that happened basically was that for a period, the British were like executing about 1% of their population every year. So they basically bred them to be sort of polite and servile and all this kind of other stuff. Now, for certain, I mean, this made them excellent goyim, right? Like really, like top tier, like triple A grade prime goyim. But then when confronted by like actual, savages, they're screwed. So now if you gave the UK cops guns, you'd be putting guns in the hands of all of these like tiny women, which would be, oh my god, it'd be like horrible.
Oh yeah,
they'd just be like, "It's a white guy, kill him!" Right? He's coming right for us.
He's headed right for us.
Quagmire for $10.
Thank you there, mate.
I would be fine with working with these people if they don't expect to have a hand in law. I don't think these people would create anything except more liberalism. Is he talking about the pagans or?
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, who else would you be working with, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
I would imagine so.
I'm quite sussy about the pagans for this reason as well.
It's not like carved out necessarily. It's very kind of mystical, right? It's
yeah.
not,
No.
Like
I just don't know. Like practically speaking. Like I tried asking someone this on Twitter and they sent me the thing from like the Astaru Fellowship and I sort of glanced at it and it doesn't seem like something you can build like a legal regime off. But listen, right, I'm open to it. I don't want to like just reflexively, slag off the pagans unless they hate Christ.
Right, but the pagans have to understand what they believe in is not open and obvious, like other
Well, that also means
groups, right?
That means it's also open to subversion, right?
Sure.
And this is the thing about the Christ-hating pagans. They're like, don't you know, like, the Moose created Christianity, you're just being subverted. And I'm like,
right.
Okay, so if that's true, what makes you think they won't subvert you guys?
Or they haven't subverted pagans because they don't hold power. So they really subvert things that are often in positions of power. So, I mean.
Yeah. Leningrad for another $10. Woo!
Oh, yeah, bruv. He's getting chatty over here.
Man,
a chatty little Kathy.
He's on fire tonight. Girthy. Remember, no religion, no race, no system of government is a substitute for willpower. These ideas, institutions, or natural properties do not do anything by themselves if they are not applied. Yes, that's a really good fucking point. You have
to have the will to do it.
No, what we need to do, mate, is like sit around in a circle and like talk endlessly about talking about stuff, right? And that's how you get a society.
They're going to be on to us. They're on to who do you think the stream is? Get a little close to us right now.
No.
I know.
What we're doing is entertainment, man. Right? Like
I know. I'm not. Yeah, I'm not acting like I'm an academic, being like, oh, this is how things are.
Yeah. Andrew Corrigan for $10.
Thank you, mate.
I had no idea how big 60 centimeters was before I made my previous super. Apparently, it's like 2 feet. Metric cucks, specifically Ardy, can shove it. The joke's much funnier now. Like the stream and share it.
Very good point.
Yes, well, he had a 60 centimeter knife. and he did shove it all the way through his body. But
got
really,
him 2 feet in.
it wasn't a 70-centimeter knife, right? It didn't go far enough outside of his back to merit any kind of retaliation. So, yeah.
Very legalized.
And Master Shake for $5. Moo Life Crisis.
Yes. I don't know what else that would be.
Zafari for $5. Thank you, mate.
Thank you, bruv.
Americans seemingly do this No More Brother Wars bit way more compared to other whites. Global white unity is good when the feeling is mutual. Yeah.
Well, it's going to be, and I said this before, it's going to be a little cringe because it's being built. Everything is cringe in the beginning. It's undefined. People are fighting for these definitions of what these things mean because they're trying to build something. And there's a sense of urgency, right? So I understand that it's going to be messy in the next few years. Not violently, but just bickering-wise.
Yeah. Tacit Tempo for $10.
Thank you, bruv.
Talk to Arvol, applying for Return to the Land soon. Thank you, Mr. Miscegenator, sir.
I'm telling you, man, it's never too late to miscegenate. I can say that because I'm somehow driving people to return to the land. I may have driven over 10 people to return to the land at this point, so then I get to make race mixing jokes because that doesn't make any sense, okay? That's why. That's my favorite part of that, is you can't take that away from me.
You're going to start up Return to Miscegenation pretty soon, aren't you, mate?
I'm just going to operate independently. I don't want it to say, Fist, I already feel terrible that you're connected to me with some of the things that I say. I wouldn't want to do that to an entire group, okay?
It's all good, mate. Kill All Bunnies, 10 membership.
Whoa! This guy's got he's trying to, you know what? This guy's trying to infiltrate us right now, okay?
Mate.
He's trying to put enemies behind the line right now.
Oh, you're on the payroll of the Jews.
I don't know what this guy's thinking of doing, okay? But you should know. I just realized this the other night when I was going through my members-only videos. I have 95 members-only videos. Isn't that wild? That's a lot. That's a lot of stuff you guys have access to. Streams, edited videos of me from 2017, 2018, 2019. Just trying to figure out this political world that we're all in. Got some clips from longer videos. So there's actually a ton of content behind there to keep you interested. And especially if you work a long shift or something like that, that's the gold mine, fellas. So thank you very much, Kill All Bunnies. You've made a lot of people's days a lot weirder.
Yeah, man. Look at him go. When he says kill all bunnies, he means all bunnies.
Fucking all of them, mate.
All of them. And Jam for $5.
Oh,
I see No More Brother Wars to be the same as when the communists say don't be a class traitor. Ooh. Yeah, see? I mean...
Well, it's like, come on, let's not... Well, what if there's some things that are irreconcilable, okay, and need to be addressed within a movement to make it something, right? Otherwise, what is the movement, as opposed to it just being white people? So it's bickering like that Frojacks are really good at having those conversations.
Okay. So, Super Chat's achieved. Time for Moo Watch.
Yay!
Yay!
Dang! Come. Let's go!
In a very, very surprising development, all the Moos have decided to basically not be crazy and just embrace being not stupid. Oh no, wait, no, they haven't. This is Mike Suckleby, basically talking about the 250th anniversary of America, the country which he loves so dearly.
I celebrate the heritage that as an American I have, thanks to the Jewish foundation upon which the United States of America was born and which it has thrived. And I tell you that if the United States ever forgets its heritage and forgets the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, we will not be the great nation that we have become, and we will fall.
Why is it always a threat? It's always a threat. It's like a psycho girlfriend. It's like, if you ever leave me, I'll destroy your life.
Yeah, literally, you're nothing without me. Is the messaging. But do you see how he says it in this caring voice? You know?
Yeah.
Hey, I don't want you to lose your life because I want you dependent on these people. Come on.
It's fucking concern trolling.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, right? Yeah.
And it's why that when I hear people say, is it possible that America and Israel will split apart and will no longer enjoy this extraordinary partnership. And I say, no. You got to understand. We're not that stupid. I hope we're never going to be that stupid. The truth is, it's like an incredible marriage between Israel and the United States. And when people ask, are we going to break up? I say, not a chance. Because neither country can afford the alimony if we ever broke up.
He's fucking literally comparing it to a relationship. He's actually comparing it to a fucking marriage. And he's like, you stupid bitch, you'll never divorce me. Nobody's going to want you. Holy shit, he fucking went there.
Most toxic marriage ever.
For as long as there is. Thank you. God bless you. God bless America. And God bless the state of Israel. Thank you.
Oh. Fire. Wash it with fire, okay? We're not going to kill anything. We're just going to wash it with a little bit of fire. We'll get that out.
Now, here we have this rather interesting monologue from Rabbi Beryl Solomon. I don't know who this guy is. I presume. I mean, this is from 2023.
Yeah, this is like a Michael Jordan moo. Okay, this guy's a real piece of shit. I
mean, this is fucking insane.
Like we show you a lot. Okay, this is in the legendary category. This is high level.
Yeah, this is every single stereotype like rolled into one. Like it's crazy. Check it out.
America is roughly 350 years. That's like the U.S. being a 10-year-old child, and the Jewish people being a 100-year-old wise sage.
You see, you Gentiles, you don't know what you're doing. You Americans, like without our advice, where would you be? Oh my, the arrogance, man.
So I do these lives on Instagram where I welcome people to debate me. And whenever I get a hostile pro-Palestinian person come onto the live and they start ranting about 1967 and this accord and that agreement, I usually dismiss the conversation immediately.
Why are they proud about that? I usually just run away from it.
I don't even listen to them. They're stupid, right? I mean, we're so much older than them. You know, can't we just like cleanse Palestine in peace? Like, what are you doing here?
I could go on and on. The lessons that we learn from all these stories is that Jews cannot play the game according to the world's rules.
So,
because their game.
Right. God. So, okay. So
I wanted to say that.
Okay. So the problem with what he is saying is that there cannot be any universally applied rules. So there can't be United Nations. There cannot be isonomia, right? There cannot be a country.
How do you share a country with those people?
The same set of rules that apply to everyone, right? But if there isn't, this upends any kind of attempt at like actually functional liberalism. You're right? Like, you know, not the liberalism we have now, but like, you know, the kind that the founding fathers were like interested in. You know what I mean?
Well, I feel like we had to like come up with liberalism as things became more diverse, right? Like we don't. When I go to like New Hampshire, or like these other white areas, they're not like thinking liberalism. They're just existing as white people. They're not like thinking of this like intricate moral philosophy. I feel like that's just a post hoc rationalization of something that already existed that they had to explain to other people that didn't understand it.
No, the intricate moral philosophy is to cover the distance between how whites would just ordinarily act if left to themselves, and how they have to act when they are in proximity to like other groups. That's the fucking problem, in my opinion.
Yes.
If it was just whites being themselves, you would not need all of this like 10,000 pages of like bullshit to explain like, you know, why none of this shit like works.
Well, because you have to go, well, what do you do in this situation? And in white land, you go, that situation doesn't happen. But what if it does? Why would someone do that? Well, I guess we just arrest them. Yeah, we're not going to have to make this.
Yeah,
like,
exactly. You know, like, you know, what if someone started eating swans in the park? Well, I don't know. Everyone around would like beat them into submission and then take them off on a throw. Like, where's the problem, right? You know,
where I'm from, we used to call that tuning someone up. You tune them up.
Yeah.
To begin with. It's clear that the world has a twisted view of morality. When Kanye West rails against the Jews on the internet, he claims that we're not the real Jews. It's the black Hebrew Israelites that are the real Jews.
So Kanye West is now representative of the world.
I mean, honestly, that's an improvement. They usually go with a random Twitter follower that got a tweet that got 18 views, and they have 6 followers. So that's actually an improvement in terms of a scapegoat.
No, I mean, Kanye's not exactly a random black guy, right? But I wouldn't call him like the most stable pea in the pod, if you know what I'm saying,
of course, that's who they're going to choose.
He's a good musician, though. I got to give him that.
And the Ashkenazi Jews are just power-hungry imposters. They even want to claim our identity. It's not even about stealing land at a certain point. They say we're not even Jews.
Yeah, imagine if someone said that about the whites.
What the fuck? Yeah, I mean,
That'd
like,
be terrible, man. God, that must feel really bad, having people like deliberately undermine your national identity. Oh man,
yeah, he was
wow.
actually saying that, and I thought to myself, I don't think you could be me when he was saying that. I'm like, I don't think you could switch places with me.
Yeah, that must be terrible, mate.
And the day that Bibi Netanyahu stands up in front of the United Nations and declares as a proud Jew that the land of Israel belongs to us because the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob gave it to us. And he created...
And, because we got rid of all the Palestinians and the Lebanese.
Yeah, gave
right,
it
we're
to
at
you.
war with Turkey and Egypt.
Yeah, right. Imagine if I gave you something you had to fight for, and then I told you that I gave it to you, but you had to get into a brutal fight to have it. Here, I'm going to give you this car as long as you fight this 3-way match between this Hispanic and this black guy. Then you can have it. I gave it to you.
It's like some black dude rocking up on your car on the highway and be like, Yaqub has decreed that this car belongs to me. Like, get the fuck away from me.
Give him
the entire world. And he could give the land of Israel to whoever he wants. And he chose to give it to the Jewish people. On that day, Bibi, Israel, and the Jewish people will finally be respected. And by every nation on earth. And when we start talking the language of Torah, the world will respect us. Because we'll finally be playing the part that God and the rest of the world so desperately wants us to play.
I don't know whether the rest of the world desperately wants you to play that part, mate. I mean, I know that's a common view among, some of your sort of your crew, but I don't think that everyone is actually crying out for your leadership in the way that you believe that they are. Just a hunch.
In every movie, it is a sign of weakness when the character goes, this, and this, then you'll respect me. Yeah. Every time someone says that, the answer is always no, and it's an insecurity in the character is what is revealed, right? You think they're behind Hollywood, they would understand that. They can't apply any of these things to themselves. Then the world, try just me before you go to the world, okay? Try one person at a time before you jump to the world respecting you.
The world doesn't want us to play by their rules.
Really? That's, okay.
Here, I thought I knew what I wanted. Thank you.
What's the proof? Any time that we got comfortable in a society, wherever we were, they attacked us. And they reminded us...
What is that?
I'm sorry. Stay right there for
Jews
just a
have been
moment.
kicked out of every country we've ever lived, and it's never been our own fault.
I love it. Love it so much. Let me just give you one more.
Tried the love us thing for about 3,000 years. Didn't work.
Every time.
Do you think you guys getting comfortable in a society might come at the expense of the rest of the population in that society? No. Obviously not,
you just broke a law by saying that.
Probably.
Us that you are not us. Stop trying to pretend like you're us.
Now we
don't
see
want
this.
you.
Pause it. This is where trans and black people get this from. Okay.
Right.
We're trying to be them. We're attracted to them. We're obsessed with them. That is where they get it from. It has been imbued by the moose.
Right, yeah.
We don't like you. You are not like us. You are different. You are special. You are meyuchad. You are something that is separate from us. Stop trying to be like us. It drives them nuts.
It drives them crazy. They're so obsessed with driving people crazy. It's the same. This is where This is where Marx's antagonization and Lenin's antagonization was born out of. They're obsessed. They are obsessed with antagonizing people.
Yeah.
They want us at the front of the class. They want us leading and teaching. They do not want us mingling.
Wait,
I'm sorry.
Who?
This is what a creepy man at the bar says when he's trying to pick up a woman, telling his friend he knows what she wants, and the guy's like, "Dude, I think you're gonna get arrested tonight if you go and try that shit." I don't think she agrees that. I don't think she wants any of that. Nah, I know just what she wants.
And following and trying to fit in. And in the coming times of Mashiach, the world is begging us, Jews, please show us the way. And we can't make the same mistake anymore and talk about how we're a democracy. We have to talk about how we're God's chosen people. I get lectured all the time.
Then everyone's going to respect you.
So, okay, so just let me recap slightly here. Right?
Oh,
So,
please.
all the world wants them to lead, right? But at the same time, we must discard notions of democracy. So it is very heavily implied that what everyone wants is a sort of muish tyranny or oligarchy. Am I getting that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
You're confused? What are you confused about? You're saying you don't want that. Is that what I'm hearing? Something different. You don't want that?
I wouldn't be so like worked up about it if they were like good rulers.
Sure, but I know what you're thinking. How does this benefit you, and why would you want it? And I'm thinking the same thing. He's gonna probably tell us, right?
The problem is they suck as rulers. They are convinced that they are the most awesome rulers ever invented, right? And like women and like the blacks and the troons, right? If you just put us in charge of everything, right, we'll be the best rulers you've ever seen. But they're not. They're really not, right? They're far too like partial. They like always like bend the rules. I mean, oh my God. If they were really competent rulers, no one would give a shit. Like seriously, no one would give a crap if they were like impartial.
It'd be like the 90s, man. Like, hey, yeah, we're chilling, we're hanging out, sure. It just so happens that when people are around you for long enough, they don't like you, and you never resolve that. hey, it's good for us, okay? At the very least.
They're just not good rulers.
Instagram. How could you do this, and how could you do that, and how... Calm down. You're lecturing Jews on morality?
Oh, man. Oh, give me the confidence of Mustache Man right now, please. Oh, my Lord.
Imagine having that that much confidence, like that much chutzpah, to just be like,
oh he's begging for it.
Mate.
We brought morality to the world.
He's trying to get me to swing on him. That's what he's trying to do this right now. He's trying to get me to swing on him right now.
We have to act like Jews, talk like Jews, walk like Jews, speak like Jews, be proud Jews. In these moments, when the entire world's attention is on us, we have two missions.
I'm sure you hate
Number
that.
one is we have to look the world straight in the eye. We have to stand strong and proud and tell them that we are the chosen people. The children of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We are the main characters in the greatest story ever told.
It's every stereotype. This is King Mu. I'm sorry, dude. We gotta watch this guy every week. Who's this, Beryl Solomon?
Yeah, Beryl Solomon.
This is the most stereotypical Mu I think we've ever covered on the stream. And fellas, I think we've covered at this point over 100 different Mus. Okay.
He's pretty amazing. I mean, no. I mean, he would be representative, I think, of the Zionist faction, right? Like the religious Zionist faction, not the sort of reform, kind of like liberal side. But I mean, it's glorious, really. It's like going out in the wild and seeing some like species of bird or something, and you're like, oh wow.
And it's pure
in its natural habitat.
Yes, it's beautiful in a way. In a very disgusting, rat-like, vile way. It's beautiful.
So have a little respect, why don't you?
Dude, it's fucking cinema. Now, we will play AI that sometimes is like pretty good, right? Like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10. It hits a lot of markers, okay?
Yeah.
This is like a 10 out of 10 performance. The pacing... And it leads to a crescendo, and he ties it up in a nice, neat little bow. This is performance art. This is like Ari Shafir. This has to be an act.
And have a little humility, why don't you?
Why don't you?
And if you do, we'll be happy to teach you.
Wow. More of that guy. That guy in my veins. Oh, no. Get away from that. This one stays away from my veins, okay?
Right. So, I mean, you know, Jonathan Greenblatt, he looks more like Nosferatu every single time I see him. Quite
Look at those dead eyes. Dude, there could be... How much do you want to bet that there's footage of a fly landing on his eyeball and he doesn't blink?
I want to respect is in the chat and make a great profile picture.
Here's the deal. You want to criticize the Israeli government? Go for it. You want to criticize the Israeli military? Go for it.
Two steps ahead of you.
Denigrate, and hold Jews and Jewish people collectively responsible. Could you imagine if we did this to kids who were Chinese American? Could you imagine if we did this to kids who were Muslim because we don't like the government of Iran or Saudi Arabia? Wrong.
Wait. We're missing something here.
Yeah, did he mention like whites and
No.
blaming them collectively, or well, imagine if we did this to the Chinese or the Muslims, right? Think of the poor Muslim.
You know, the ADL's been around since 1843, and they've never protected white people in all that time. Incredible. And don't we find it curious how, I think over half of the world's moos are in white countries. They're mostly in the white Western world, and yet somehow across all of the white Western countries, all of the larger ones, I would say, seem to be having the same problems with an anti-white sentiment in their host country. Isn't that bizarre to anybody?
It's so weird how they never protect their host. I would have thought like that they would just be like
vindictive women if they want to compare it to a fucking relationship with the
like
moos or a relationship with the whites.
Just out of like pure utilitarianism.
Wrong every time.
Jonathan, can I ask you, because so many of these candidates who are running for office, there's a Senate candidate in Michigan as well, how much of this is about money? The idea that we spend billions of U.S. taxpayer dollars investing in this government, in the Israeli government, that is a source of a tremendous amount of tension with American citizens who, to Barnacle's point, watching what that money they believe is used to kill children.
Well,
how do we respond to that?
It's a fair question. Humain, you know these issues from your time at the State Department probably better than I do. If you look at the foreign aid budget and you look at the foreign defense spending budget, it's actually quite small as a percentage of overall U.S. dollars. And you look at, we spend a lot of money in Egypt, right?
We certainly
and that's
do.
a country that persecutes gay people, persecutes religious minorities, etc.
We can criticize that government too.
We do, but we don't. So the question we have to ask is why?
Yeah, why is it that the U.S. gives Egypt money? Do you know why, Ardy?
Please educate me.
It's so they don't attack Israel. That's literally why America gives Egypt money. So they don't attack Israel.
The same force preventing that UK dude from beating the shit out of that small woman, he obviously could, is the same force that somehow protects Israel, which is 1,000th of the size of all the countries fucking surrounding it that choose to not pounce on it.
Yeah.
Why the obsession with Israel? Even before October the 7th. Why were there people cheering on October the 7th here in New York City after Jewish people, Israelis, were massacred, raped, and brutalized? I don't understand it until you start to peel it back. Look, we need to recognize that anti-Semitism has been around for a long time. Again, the perceived misdeeds of the Israeli government or the Israeli military create a convenient target. But again, I don't think it's right to hold people collectively responsible. And again, government...
Unless they're white, right? And that's
no. But he doesn't have to hold white people collectively responsible. All he has to do in his position of power is ignore when his own do it.
Yeah,
So
right.
He doesn't do it, and that's a true statement. He doesn't do it, but he protects those that do.
I mean, he's the head of the ADL. ADL demonizes white people all the fucking time. They're like
No, just white supremacists. And as I've shown on stream, do they consider any white collectivization to be white supremacist, even if they explicitly say that they're not supremacist? And the answer is still yes. So they consider any white collectivization to be supremacist.
Well, of course.
Dollars may get spent with this ally, but we spend them all around the world. I don't see people protesting the Egyptian government, the Saudi government.
Did the Egyptian government get us into like a war? Just right? Is the Egyptian government the reason why like there's a massive potential energy crisis?
You're ruining it. You're asking why. You're ruining it.
You're asking why. Anti-Semitic for me to ask these questions. Oh my God.
Pakistani government. It seems to be that Israel is the only one that's held to this kind of double standard. That's the issue.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there.
Look at his face. Look at that doofus. Look at that fetal alcohol face. What shape are his eyes? What a bizarre man.
So this is Matthias Dopfner, right, who is the head of Axel Springer, which is the big media empire. They own Politico, Business Insider, Bild, Die Welt, and they also recently bought the Telegraph. This is his conversation at ARC 2026. ARC is the Alliance for Responsible Citizenship that was sort of originally spun up by like Jordan Peterson and the other kosher centrists. And I just want to play like a little bit of this just to sort of hammer this point home.
Yep.
I say that Matthias does interviews. He has, at introduction, said, is chief executive and part owner of Axel Springer, the enormously influential media group, and one of that rarest of things, a profitable and growing news media organization. It's also a very singular organization in that, unlike a purely commercial organization, it is underpinned by a set of values they call the essentials, which is almost like a kind of charter of why it exists. So I thought I'd start by asking you, Matthias, what are the essentials and why are they there?
Well, I think it is first and foremost a gesture of transparency and honesty, because if a media company starts by saying we are neutral, it starts with a lie. There is no neutral journalism. Does it exist?
Now, I kind of actually agree with this, to be perfectly frank, right? I am on board with this, right? That, you know, they should have principles and like state them openly. I don't have an issue with this at all.
It's done by human beings. And so I think it is more honest to say those are our fundamental values. It's like the intellectual constitution of the company. We define 5 essentials, and that is the...
So what are these 5 essentials?
Support of the value of freedom, freedom of speech, rule of law, and democracy. The second one is the support of the right of existence of Israel. And
oh, I see.
Dude,
I see.
Do you even have to try?
So you are in support of freedom and democracy and self-expression and all of that, right? But you will also go after Connor Tomlinson and try and get his funding shut down because he is, says stuff that you don't like.
Well, no. Not that he doesn't like, okay? He is attacking something that is viewed as essential. If something is essential, right, it gets extra protection because it's essential.
But how do you square these two, right? We're all for freedom of democracy and freedom of speech and stuff like that, but we will also like try and like destroy people.
This is what white people need to get better at, okay? The way, so it's a language within a language. You think someone speaking a different language means that they're saying words that you don't understand. They're speaking a different language by using the words that we understand in a different way.
No, yes, you're a good point.
the opposition against all forms of anti-Semitism. That is strangely the most controversial one. The third one is the transatlantic alliance between America and Europe. The fourth one is the free market economy. And the fifth one is the opposition against all forms of political and religious extremism and all forms of discrimination. So,
right. So that's clearly not true, right? I mean, because
you have to have discrimination.
The second point warps all of those other points, right? But anyway, I mean, who is this guy? He only owns this very, very important media group. Now, I wanted to focus as well. Stuff's going great in Australia. This Foyd is the censorship commissioner of Australia. Obviously, they don't call
censorship commissioner.
They don't call her that, right? No, they call her the e-safety commissioner.
This is like a kindergartner.
Yeah. And at the moment, Australia is having a royal commission on anti-Semitism and social cohesion, right? Orwell would be so proud, right? And she's very worried that people are mean on the internet.
One of the other things I asked for, noted by the government, is something called a notification power. And that's important because the adult cyber abuse as it's constructed now is so specific. As you know, it doesn't cover groups of people or a person because they are part of a group. But it also only requires you to look at that specific tweet. Many of these tweets or posts have terrible, insulting, ugly comments underneath.
Shut up, cunt.
Platform.
Oh, that's a paddling. Yeah, that's a paddling. We gotta yeet you to the moon. Mate, she's a stunning and brave American woman who now censors the entirety of Australia, because that's the thing, right?
Yeah, well, now I don't want to insult her. I just think that right now in this screenshot, she looks like her pussy fucking smells. Okay, and that's just my opinion. I'm not saying it pejoratively. I don't want that to be taken out of fucking. Okay, I'm just saying that my opinion. Okay, I want to. What if I couch my language when I say something like that? I'm just some offering some criticism. Okay, is this how we do it? And am I doing it right? Am I doing it? This is how we do it in fucking Australia, UK.
You'll be in Australia in no time, Ardy.
Or is something called a notification power. So if there's a pylon, if there's a brigade, if it's meant to be an avalanche of online hate, we put the onus back on the platform to say, this Australian is being targeted. We expect you to protect their account and take action against all of those people that you can see. You can see all the signals. You can see it on your dashboard, whether it's you just suspend them.
So just to be clear, in case you don't speak FOID legalese, what she's saying is that if a Australian government official, because this is basically right, like who it's for, does something stupid on the internet that everybody hates, they expect the social media companies to go after every single person who left a mean comment. Yeah. They want to get back to COVID, basically, right? Like,
that was their favorite. That was their favorite thing.
They had the Holy Grail, right? They had it, and then Trump, you took all of it, right? And they just want to get back to like COVID, where they control the entire internet. They could just shut people down, anyone that they wanted at any time of day or night.
Or you take them away. That would be very helpful and more representative of how online abuse manifests.
Online abuse
that we've seen against members.
I'll show you online abuse. Pause it real quick. Speaking of online abuse, I'm on a 90-day ban right now. So if you follow me on X, my backup is in my profile, and so I'm going to be posting from the backup for 90 days. Speaking of online abuse.
Right. Okay, so final thing for Moo Watch. I don't know who made this, but it's pretty freaking awesome.
Black Rockstar Games presents Goy Theft Auto 6 Germany Edition. We just wanted to live a peaceful Goy life, but this ain't happening. Someone's got other plans. The German head Goy is owned by BlackRock and wants you to Ukraine for democracy or something, while flooding your country with violent engineers that live off your taxes. That's why you can only afford slot from 5 Goys, while Top Goy has got the mandatory saddies because of the Halabunga. And you've had enough. Get chased by the police. Try to survive the parade in front of Brandenburger Tor. Enjoy an open-world replica of Germany with real places. Blow up buildings of fake news media outlets. And transfer your committed crimes onto a chicken to neutralize wanted levels. Black Rockstar Game.
Not an ounce of fat on that.
Sorry. Right, and finally, Keir Starmer is nearly gone. And I just wanted to share this final statement that he had for the people of England.
Really proud that we got the gayest parliament. I don't think it's just of all time anywhere in the world. I don't think there's any parliament that is gayer than this part. That's really proud.
Yeah. So per square inch, right? The UK has more gays than any other parliament, which of course is like why it's so awesome, right? Okay, right. Moo Watch succeed. Super chats?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Where are we up to? Okay. Mike, second name for £5. Thank you very much. Accept my Wodenism. I legit believe and practice it. Jesus is a god, just not my god.
Completely workable. Completely workable.
I'm not mad at that, honestly, right? Like, you
See,
know.
this is what I want to expose more Christians to, but I need the pagans to understand how psychotic the Christ-hating pagans are. Okay, I need you to understand that, and what you guys believe in is not obvious and open to a lot of people. I need the pagans to understand that, and I need the Christians to understand that you have to see if the pagan hates Christ or not. It's a different kind of pagan. Okay, so that and that's where there can be a bridge of you ain't gotta be best friends. Okay, but you can work in conjunction with one another, right?
Wait, Arden's saying that we skipped a super chat from him.
Wow,
is that true? I can't see it, Arden.
Unbelievable.
Sure
Unbelievable.
I would not skip one of your super chats, bro. Frankensteck for $20.
There he is, Rucker.
There you go.
Look
Thank you
at
very
all
much, mate.
Stecky.
Ardy, did you know there's a thing called Black People Time? It seems like it must be contagious. Hope you recover soon. And oh
my god! Oh my god! Why? I do hear that it is sexually transmitted, so I'll have to go to my doctor. You know, ask for my symptoms, right? And I'm like, well, I was 3 minutes late to stream, so I must be coming down with something.
You got miscegenator time, is what you're saying? Like half black time.
Apparently. You know, that's a real friend to point that out.
Mighty Meme King, member for 6 months. Thank you. Quote, the Moorish values on which this nation is founded, but watch how quickly they crash out when I say I believe in our Islamo-Christian values. Oh, God. Brother Gunther, member for 6 months. Thank you, mate. I don't know. I think I want a divorce. I mean, have you seen their women?
Yes. Bag over the head, definitely.
Kill all bunnies, Virgin.
Thank you, mate.
Won't be able to finish the stream live. Meeting some friends soon, but I wanted to say that I just paid my return to land dues today, so it is in fact too late to miscegenate. Have a good one, fellas.
I just want to say that I have the world record for most super chats telling the content creator that they joined Return to the Land. I'm in the Guinness Book of World Records. And now, if you want to tell me that there's someone else that has more than me, I'd love to know who they are. Just gonna put that out there.
It's too late to miscegenate.
How do I explain that to Eric? Eric, what does this look like to you, Eric Arval? What does this look like to you?
Torture Wyatt, member for 6 months. Thank you very much, mate. So you're saying that moos are boomers? Way ahead of you.
I know,
Fair
right?
enough.
All the boomers are on board with the Zionism, like fucking fully.
Dillweed for $5. Imagine the golden age America's going to enter when the elves get exiled like every nation before us that entered one after exiling them. Yeah, I mean, you'll probably have like moon bases and shit. Like, you know, everyone's on Mars and stuff. Derek for 10 Canadian loonies. Thank you very much.
Thank you, bruv.
The Derek, formerly known as Death Cakes here. It's been a while. Hey, man.
Oh, cool.
Ardy, I heard you made it to liturgy. I managed to get my butt there last weekend. Glory to God. You two are part of the reason I made it. Thank you. Oh, man, that's so good to hear.
Also,
wait, I gotta put this one up. Yeah.
Also, would just like to say, possible record for atheists driving people to the church. Okay, I'm just saying. Now, I know, Fist, I know that I still have to, I still gotta do my part. I know, all right? I just feel like I'm called the miscegenator so much that I want people to understand that I do good things for the right-wing movement, okay? It's not every day you hear miscegenator in a right-wing sphere, and the guy's also doing good stuff. I'm sweating so much right now. I'm preaching over here.
I'm glad you made it, Derek.
Thank you.
Nice one, man. Okay, what else have we got? Dissident Night for $5 Australian. La Ubermensch.
Very nice.
And Dissident Night for another $5 Australian. Bless Ardy releasing his inner Australian and using the national word.
Oh, you fucking cunt.
That's right. New Jam, $13.
Nuji, rocking everywhere.
Hey, Nuge. How you doing, mate? Evening, gents. My poor kipper has only known the touch of mayo recently. Please pass and employ him some proper butter, please.
It's all we can do with these trying times.
Of course. It's on its way, Nuge. Some proper butter. You don't want to have a dry kipper at this time of year.
None of that margarine stuff. The real dairy.
CSI for $5. Did you say miscegenator? I hardly knew her.
Oh. Ooh. Thank you for that. CSI, this is very nice of you.
Okay, so what's up next? Do we want to do the 4th of July stuff and then roll into...
Yeah, we're going to have to get scooting.
Okay, right. So I've got some 4th of July like stuff.
We can breeze through some of this.
Yeah, a lot of people have been like posting stuff from the bicentennial, which was in 76. So I thought I'd just play a little bit of that. This is from like 76 when everything like psychedelic had like reached the mainstream and just become like completely crap and retarded. Check this out.
You can really tell from the last stream where the LSD kicked in.
Yeah.
And kind of changed the country's perception of what it means to be American. And then this really just is a bunch of like iconography of like things that they've seen. They're like quick like Rorschach test of like image association.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's like once it became mainstream, right? And they became the man, basically, right? So like everything had this like crap psychedelic aesthetic to it. Oh, it's so terrible. Look at this. Look at this stuff. Oh, this is great, right? The eagle like flies across America, which is like what basically San Francisco, a buffalo, a few factories, some farms, American Gothic,
classic,
Washington, and then out to sea.
This is where the country comes from. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Got a little eagle action, right?
And they got the bell.
Doing drugs in the country used to be a lot more special. Okay. We didn't have the same imagery that we have nowadays. You know.
Gee, I wonder what that symbolizes. Some kind of
Egypt, the pyramids. It's an Egyptian reference, right?
Oh, so it doesn't symbolize some kind of like hidden Masonic hand that like rules the country from the shadows or anything like that.
What are you talking about? The fuck are you talking about?
Well, bro, Freemasonry is like so psychedelic, bro.
No, it's like on our currency, you know. I see it all the time. What are you talking about?
Oh, it's so crap. I mean, I don't know. Maybe back in '76, this was a marvelous technical achievement. Look at this: the cornucopia that spews forth cars and burgers.
Yeah, this is what in your mind. This is what it looks like.
TVs and hot dogs.
It's mass production, man. Baseball, hot dog, America's pastime.
Yeah. So that's like pretty crap. We got this, which is like a Vox Pop from 1976.
I'm sorry. What am I looking at?
I don't know.
I'm looking at her the way the guy is staring at her in the background right now. I'm studying. I'm like, okay, let's see how it moves and navigates.
I think maybe the best thing for this country is 1975 being International Women's Year.
Classic.
Even more than 1976 being bicentennial, because I think maybe women should have a larger say in really what happens in this world and our basic loving tendencies, rather than let's beat each other's heads in to get what we want.
Yeah, and so we did that. And how's that shit working out?
I also love how communists don't bash people's heads in to get what they want. What the fuck are you talking about, Foy?
No. When they bash people's heads in, right, it's for the right reasons, right? Unlike you fascists who bash people's heads in for the wrong reason.
Right.
I see a great orgy of celebration. Right now we don't have
Check his
a
trunk.
great deal to celebrate.
I feel that it might leave a lot of people out. The
Yeah, man.
bicentennial can be made to mean something, but it has to focus on all people and what the United States claims itself to be, So somehow I feel
Pause it real
that
quick.
it's like a
That's pretty much how things sounded 10 years after the fucking Civil Rights Act.
Yeah.
Great for our patriotism as a country.
big fad.
Bicentennial's been kind of a dirty word here in Philadelphia and throughout the country.
Look at that hair.
In many ways, the bicentennial is just being fabricated.
Have we been preserving the
That guy eats
material
people.
things, the buildings, the papers, the documents, or have we been preserving the ideas, the principles?
I'd like to preserve my
of
boner
freedom,
until I
of
looked at
liberty,
you.
Of justice, of equality. I'm really afraid that our country's paid much more attention, if you look at the budget of some of these groups and organizations, into preserving the material aspects, and not enough has gone into preserving the ideals and principles.
Yeah, but surely ideals and principles, right, only manifest by being imprinted on the actual material world.
They're just
I'm
cogs in a wheel, man.
Like, otherwise, you're just sitting around the table jerking each other off. Like,
It is their favorite thing to do.
I suppose it's true.
Can't deny that.
Well, it's a bad time, I think, to have it. So I really don't know what we have to gain by it.
Well,
Wow.
after Watergate, the morale of the country's low. Maybe if we could inject some national spirit
Hunt some
back
caribou.
into the country, it would do a lot of good.
Yeah. You know?
The bicentennial flows through the country like water through the buffalo. Right. Okay. So listen, I know that's a bit of a downer. Okay. But I wanted to play this because this shit I really love. I love this about America. Right. You can get at me if you want. I don't fucking care. Right. I love this aesthetic and you can all go and like fuck off. Eurocucks destroyed.
A date which will live in infamy. That the only thing we have to fear is fear itself.
Yeah, I'm going to dress up like Bigfoot with a rifle. I'm going to like shoot in the air. God bless America.
You got to be careful watching that even near your wife because she'll just get pregnant. Okay.
I love like just the incredible fetishization for the internal combustion engine and just like the heedless use of hydrocarbons. I love it.
I love the European mind analyzing this. It really is crazy. Fucking helicopter coming through. Black Rifle Coffee.
Anyway.
Discount
right?
fucking America.
God fucking bless America, man. Like, I hope you guys will have like a great 4th of July and stuff like that. You know, I just think that's fucking cool, right? You know, all the Eurocucks are like, do you know how much like carbon you're putting in the atmosphere? Fuck off.
Yes.
Care.
Right? We do that for no reason, okay? Try to understand it.
Yeah, exactly. Right? It's the heartbeat of a nation, right? I love this fucking bit.
The helicopter exploding through.
We're going to set off a whole bunch of shit in the desert. Red, white, and blue. They're going to have a helicopter like fly right through it. Why? Because America.
Well, we don't realize how much space we have compared to Europe. I mean, when I was in Mexico, I was talking to a dude from Belgium. He's like, there is no space in Belgium. Yeah. There's no space at all whatsoever.
You can't do that shit in Europe. Like it's tiny. And it sucks ass. And yes, I know Black Rifle Coffee, they're like, you know, bigly Zio, but look, I enjoy the aesthetic.
Well, hey, you guys have things like that in the UK, don't you? What would be the closest thing that you have? Like what? A bunch of Humvees with fucking Arabs going la 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 la. Instead of like shooting guns, they're like throwing knives and.
No, the closest thing you have to something like that in, say, like London, is the New Year's Eve fireworks off the London Eye, where they like play like 80s pop songs and like do like say fireworks and talk about fucking diversity and shit.
Oh,
I hate it.
Lord.
Right, and like everyone like crams down to the river, and it's just impossible, and you like, I hate it. So
yes.
So yeah. So anyway. So shall we go on to Jeremy Boring?
Now let me explain to you what a real heritage American is, okay? And Jeremy Boring's going to let you know that heritage American movement is wrong, and here's why, okay?
Do you have...
Okay, he's going to ask you some questions, okay? How many questions do you think he's going to ask in 2 minutes?
I don't know.
3, 4, 5,
Are they going to be
6?
Are they going to be like electrodes attached to my testicles while they are?
If I could, I would.
It's one of those kind of like situations where like, I'm going to ask you some questions, and if you make the wrong answer, electricity will be applied to your private parts. That is what makes America.
Here we go.
To be white to be an American?
1.
Do you have to be a Christian? Do you have to be born here? Do you have to speak the language? Do your ancestors need to have bled at Antietam or shivered through the winter at Valley Forge
5.
or stepped off the deck of the Mayflower itself and
6.
onto the cold rock in Massachusetts?
7.
And if your ancestors came later, if your grandfather came through Ellis Island with a cardboard suitcase and a name that the clerk couldn't spell for his life, are you a little bit less American than the man whose ancestors got here first? What about the immigrant himself? What about his children?
9.
What about a child born this week in a hospital in Texas to 2 people who crossed the river just last night?
11.
What is an American?
12.
And who gets to decide? And what does it mean if the rest of us don't agree? Every one of these questions can be asked in good faith, and every one of them can be asked in bad faith.
They love the good faith, bad faith. I only heard that from the left. And like the Twitch like debate days of like, I'm going to ask in good faith, and I want you to be good faith, and then they just say that you're bad faith, and then they can dismiss you. I thought that was a leftist thing. As always, it's a moo thing. It's fucking every single time, dude.
Yeah, it's a framing device, basically, right? Like you set the frame, right? And it's useful because you can basically say, oh, you know, we're open to all ideas, as long as they're expressed reasonably, right? Who decides
reasonably? Yes.
Yeah. Who decides whether an idea is reasonable enough or not? Well, we do, obviously. Right? Like we, you know, and they stake this space out as being like the reasonable people, right? They will decide, you know, whether an idea.
Oh well, they are the deciders, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Okay, so I've already watched this entire thing, so you don't have to. So we're gonna bounce around right now.
Pure from our naturalization law until 1952. Speaking English wasn't required of new citizens until 1906. Being a Christian was never required for American citizenship. And in fact, the federal Constitution in Article 6 says explicitly that no religious test shall ever be required for any office or public trust. But at the state level...
Is that good? So if a country's supposed to be moral, right? They really shouldn't have to subscribe to, like, even a denomination of the religion of the country that they're in? Is that good?
Well,
yeah, but it was done. But well, that was written down. Yeah, but ought that be? What would the argument be, other than subversion, against having to be a Christian to hold office? Like, what would?
Look, I think this is probably prefiguring the arguments that were being thrown around in the 1800 when the Moos were trying to become MP.
You think?
Yeah, I do. And that was all framed as like, you know, freedom of religion and freedom of conscience, and it's exclusionary if people have to swear on the Bible and no. And like that's like, because that's what this ultimately means, right? If they said, oh, you've got to be a Christian, then, you know, presumably either, you know, the Catholics and the Protestants and the Baptists would be able to agree. I mean, I don't know. I mean, maybe they'd be like, you know, yeah, you're not a real Christian. You worship the Pope, you know, I don't know, right? Like, but the upshot of it is that now you have a situation where people don't even have to swear on anything, or they can swear on the Quran, or they can swear on a fucking, like, cheese sandwich.
But this is why people say you don't hate journalists enough. You don't venerate Senator John McCarthy enough, because the Moos. We have all of this information available to us now, and you see how brazenly they lie about it. Imagine having, I don't know, 1,000th of the evidence in the 50s to try to prosecute like communists, or 1,000th of the evidence in like, what, the 1700s when encountering the Moos?
Yeah.
Like, you see how brazen they lie about it now. So, like, obviously it's going to be in a certain context back then based on their fucking word, which means nothing. I mean, what expulsion were we at in the late 1700s at that point? I'd love to know.
Oh, yeah.
I would love to know throughout history the number of expulsions.
And this is why, right, no country in the West can ever land on a definition of what they are, because that definition has to include the Moos.
Yes.
And because it has to include the Moos, it cannot be based on ethnicity. It cannot be based on religion. None of these things. That's why this is has been ping-ponging around forever. Because as soon as you try and decide on any sort of sane definition that would be ethnicity or religion, right? They come along and they're like, yeah, but what about us? Like, we have to be included. And then as soon as you expand the definition to say, well, it can't be based on ethnicity, it can't be based on religion, it's so diluted as to mean basically nothing.
They are the original deconstructionists that do not build anything back up after they deconstruct it.
Yep.
Through colonial law and through colonial culture alike. And yet, Charles Carroll of Maryland, a devout Catholic who couldn't even vote in his home state, joined the Continental Congress and signed his name to the Declaration of Independence as a founding father of the country, a country that within a few generations would see Catholic citizens, despite being a minority religious group, rise to lead great cities, to lead great states, to sit on the Supreme Court and to be elected president of the United States.
Now, do you think there's a reason why Protestants would have an issue with a Catholic? Isn't that like where a Protestant comes from?
Yes.
But
Yes.
all of these things are just units. It's just a Catholic, and they were everything's a minority. Anything that is ever framed through the lens of a minority is mooish. That is where all of that comes from, out of necessity for their own fucking survival. So even him framing it that way, your discernment should go, oh, this is being framed in terms of quote unquote minority, which is a mooish way of viewing the world.
Exactly. Right? Like why are minorities automatically virtuous? Why? Right?
Yes,
yes. You could have, like, technically in any country, you have a minority of serial rapists. Okay? Like, oh, well, they're a minority, right? They should be respected. No, right? Like, just being a minority does not confer upon you some freaking like magical thing. But of course, right? This is the moose, right? They're the magical minority. They were the magical minority even before the blacks were the magical minority.
Yeah, but they like openly refuse to assimilate. They always leave that out.
Yeah, well,
like, they openly refuse to assimilate. It's always for no reason.
And it wasn't just Protestants and Catholics either. Jews were here from the very beginning too, and they weren't bystanders. Chaim Solomon, a Polish-born Jewish...
Yeah, I know they weren't bystanders. It's, kind of what we say a lot.
...immigrant who arrived in New York in 1775, became one of the principal financiers of the American Revolution itself. When Washington's army was on the edge...
Incredible. In the mid-1700s, how did this moo just happen to have so much money? It's because all of the it has something to do with like transferring the loans for the French. And it was like one guy. It was like the fucking Federal Reserve before the Federal Reserve. Like it's a guy or a small group of people that somehow own most of the currency through lending, and he was doing it for all of France. That was France's guy. He served the whole country somehow.
Okay, let's see. Here we go. I've got his page up.
Dynamite.
If you want to look at this, all right.
I'll bring it up.
All right.
Yeah.
Chaim Solomon.
Chaim.
Born in Poland. At the time of the partition in Poland in 1770, Solomon left his family, arrived in New York on the eve of the revolution. His command of German made him
New York.
welcome to the Hessian forces, which he served as a supplier of goods. Didn't the Hessians fight on the side of the English?
Interesting.
The Hessians were like German mercenaries. Chat, can you fact check me? Because I actually trust your opinion. My understanding, I remember there's that bit in Sleepy Hollow where like the headless horseman is like, a Hessian, right?
Okay.
Yeah, the Germans, right? When the British suspected him of spying, he was arrested and confined. His life was spared, but he served some prison time serving as an interpreter in their commissary department. I think it says he was basically like interpreting for the enemy, and then he like leveraged that. So the British imprisoned him. And they got him to talk to the Hessians, right?
Great guy.
He worked in the commissary, continuing to give information to the Americans. He assisted their prisoners to escape British captivity while operating a profitable victualling business.
So
in
very
New York.
quickly, just because this guy helps someone does not mean he has a loyalty to them, is what it sounds like.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. In 1781, he became an assistant to Robert Morris, superintendent of the Office of Finance, serving as a broker and treasurer for the huge expenses of the French army stationed in America. So he switched sides.
Right.
He prospered and loaned the American military government and founding fathers an estimated 600,000 pounds of his own money, the equivalent of billions of dollars today.
Wow. How was he so rich? He's just a hard worker. Incredible.
Yeah.
But this is where the left gets. There are no ethical billionaires, okay? Because I swear this is like Marx was like, I can't go after the moves; they're too powerful. So I'm just going to say capitalist. This is where the greedy capitalist comes from. Is the like perversely greedy moves throughout history.
Well, there's a lot of opportunities in war. You got to understand.
Shut up, Mo!
So listen to this. He argued against a New Testament oath taken by office holders in Pennsylvania and worked for the political rights of moves. Though a successful merchant, Solomon invested most of his money in continental stocks and bonds. When he died prematurely at the age of 45, he held $353,000 worth. That's got to be like billions today. Largely in depreciated certificates of indebtedness and continental currency, all virtually worthless. The loans he made were never repaid.
So Jeremy Boring says that like as if it's noble that he died penniless and he was never paid back. He died prematurely. Is the reason why. It's not like
that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. If he'd lived, he would have gotten the money back from the government that came afterwards, presumably, right? That's
but the way that Jeremy positions it is that he didn't even ask for the money back. That's what he said.
I find that hard to believe, bro.
Well, that's what happens when somebody frames it as a minority.
Unless he cut some kind of deal, right? So, for example, by arguing against a New Testament oath taken by office holders in Pennsylvania, this meant that moves would have been able to be what's the American version of an MP? A congressman in Pennsylvania. Okay, so they could hold political office in Pennsylvania. This might have been like worth the expenditure. I'm just saying.
Right?
Okay. So let's go back to Mr. Boring.
Dynamite. Now, you'll know that it's really a mixture of ideas for the United States, including Hebrew covenant theology.
Legislature, the right to a speedy trial. Those aren't American inventions. They're an English inheritance refined over 5 centuries before they ever crossed the Atlantic. But the founding philosophy, the actual creed, the substance of what the founders actually believed and why, drew from a much wider well than just England alone, and the founders said so themselves constantly in their own writing. Hebrew covenant theology, Greek political science, Roman civic virtue, English common law, Scottish moral philosophy, all fused together by men who studied all 5 traditions and built them into something that none of those traditions had ever produced on their own. That fusion is the American innovation. Reducing it to merely English, or as some like to say on the internet, Anglo-Saxon heritage, misses what made it work. If English blood was all that was needed, Canada would have become the freest, most prosperous nation in the history.
And this is where they reduce something to an extreme.
What the fuck is he talking
if
about?
That's just all that is needed. It's like
Canada was still ruled by the crown. You absolute fucking liar. That was the whole.
Oh, is he spiking your cortisol? Go on.
Canada was still ruled by the English. So was Australia. That was the whole point of the goddamn Revolutionary War. How do I know?
Do you hear that noise? It sounds like he like hit his fucking knee on something or like stubbed his toe. I picture like Peter Griffin from Family Guy when he hits his knee and he goes That's the noise that he makes when I give him something brain breaking that I just can't get otherwise. Okay,
it didn't happen by force either. Nobody marched to the Dutch settler and the Cuban.
What?
I hurt myself on this stupid
refugee and the Italian laborer and the Mexican immigrant at gunpoint into agreeing that they were somehow the same people. It happened because all of them were handed the same mythology, the same shared story about who we are and why we're here.
I'm getting 10 seconds at a time. I love it.
So when they marched, right, all of those like white kids at gunpoint, right, and did forced integration, is that an example of this like amazing system just like organically working to make everyone the same?
No. We're just talking about how he's correct. We're not talking about how he's incorrect.
Right. Okay. Silly me. Sorry. Please go on.
Yeah.
A shared culture and a shared creed that provides the animating foundation of that culture. It's an idea about rights and government and what a free people owes to each other, powerful enough to bind a continent the size of Europe into one nation under God instead of 40. Take the Hebrew Bible, take Greek political science and Roman civic virtue, take the English common law and Scottish moral philosophy, fuse them into the Declaration and the Constitution, and hand the result to every single person who walks through the door, and you get something that Europe, with its older bloodlines and its longer pedigrees, has never once managed to produce for itself. That's the actual argument for the creed. Not that ancestry doesn't matter at all. Of course it does. It's that ancestry alone has never been able to accomplish anywhere what America, with its creed, has been able to accomplish here. But that creed has to have a meaning. There's a phrase that comes down to us out of the ancient world. Civis Romanus sum. I am a Roman citizen. Roman citizenship wasn't just a feeling. It wasn't where your grandfather happened to be buried. It was a legal and moral status that carried weight precisely because it carried both obligation and protection together, bound into one thing. In the book of Acts, the Apostle Paul, a Jew, a tent maker from Tarsus, is about to be flogged by a Roman officer. And he says, almost casually, I was born a citizen. Well, the whole machine grinds to a halt. A man's status as a citizen of Rome could stop a Roman whip midair. And Rome didn't stay Rome by keeping citizenship locked up among the old families of the Seven Hills either. No, Rome grew by open...
Yes, Fist?
What happened to Rome? Just out of curiosity, right?
Did it fall?
It persevered eternally. No, it wasn't. It was swamped by like migrants and it fell apart. Oh God.
Well, no. See, it was good that it wasn't just Romans because they couldn't survive just by themselves and they had to open their borders, right?
Oh, for God's sake.
That's what I'm learning. That's what I'm learning in class.
Okay. Right, yeah. Lee the Wanderer, giving the barbarian citizenship is literally why Rome fell. Thank you. Precisely. See, high quality chat is what we got, right?
We was Romansteins.
its gates to outsiders, but by requiring those outsiders to first take on her laws and her loyalties. After the Italian allies rose up in the social war,
in order to force people to do that, you need to physically force them to do that. You need to violently make them do it. A lot of the time.
Fighting and dying over the question of whether they'd ever be let in, Rome made the wiser choice and made them citizens. But centuries later, the Emperor Caracalla issued an edict making nearly every free man in the empire a citizen, from Britain to the deserts of Syria. Historians still argue about whether that was the strength of Rome on display or the beginning of the end of Rome. Whether a citizenship handed out so broadly that it asked nothing in return.
Wait.
Yes?
Historians don't argue about whether that was the strength of Rome or the start of its downfall. I'm no freaking scholar of Rome, but
you talk to a lot of people, though, don't you?
I am pretty sure that people do, in fact, argue that point extensively, right? I mean, oh God, go on. Fuck.
At all. It's the same argument we're having in America today. Is citizenship a covenant or a coupon? Is it a thing you're initiated into with all the duties?
I love all the list of questions that fucking happen. Like, that is a rhetorical tactic to, like, do a memory wipe to the listener and nothing else.
Yeah, don't they call that a gish gallop?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
The word implies? Or is it just a thing you're issued, like a license plate? Rome thrived even with incredible geographic and ethnic diversity, so long as becoming a Roman meant becoming a Roman. But Rome started to dissolve when the title floated free of the very thing it was supposed to signify. When it comes to Americans...
Doesn't this just mean that whenever someone tries it, they get eroded at a certain point from bringing people in? Isn't that the lesson that one would learn as he's talking right now?
Well, exactly. I mean, another lesson one could draw is that by casting a net so widely, Rome destroyed itself.
And why? But why do that? You should have a pretty good ought for doing that, shouldn't you?
That definitely won't happen to America, right? like what the fuck are you talking about? Oh God.
Dude, all the comments too. Oh, beautiful, Jeremy. The homage to the country deserves to be on its 250th birthday. If you look at the comments in my videos and Fist's videos, there are people that are actually responding to what we said. It's just seals clapping. 100% spot on. What was spot on? Even if I had asked any of them any clarifying questions, they'd have no timestamps. They wouldn't remember. They have no idea. Truth. This is truth. We have a covenant. And if we keep our covenants, we will prosper. If we don't, we will wither and die. He's just repeating what Jeremy said. I love it. Okay.
Citizenship. Perhaps no one has said it better than William F. Buckley, who in 1995 said, quote, "What this comes down to, ultimately, is assimilation. The idea of immigration is not alone to provide shelter or even economic opportunity."
I have a question. What if they don't assimilate?
Well, I mean,
isn't that risky to go as long as they assimilate? Well, what if they don't?
Yeah, but Ardy, right? Like, think of all the amazing food choices.
What if they don't assimilate? Then it takes a lot of manpower to get rid of these people.
Yeah,
it takes a lot of manpower to get rid of them.
Ardy, we're going to ignore that question, okay? Right? And we're just going to assume that, like, literally anyone from anywhere on Earth can assimilate into being, like, American as long as they have the right values.
Dude, like before the Hart-Celler Act in like the 50s, when somebody would immigrate here, it was like an exchange student, where it was another European that stayed with an American family, and we told them how things work here.
Yep.
Now it's a random African that Maura Healey has to like tell people in my state, yeah, take them in. And then there was a video of them taking one in, and she's like cooking and cleaning for them. It's fucking perverse, dude. It's honestly, it's brain breaking.
Yeah.
But you should know that Moodyism is a Western value. Okay, it's not like Islam. All right, it's completely different.
$150 million.
What?
What do you mean, Moody's?
Hold on. Let's get there.
Other estimates of fraud across Minnesota's social programs run far, far higher, though the state disputes them. City Journal has raised whether some of that money reached extremist networks in Somalia, which the Treasury is now investigating. The scandal forced Governor and former vice presidential nominee Tim Walz to abandon his bid for a third term, and that's just in one state. Dearborn, Michigan was once the home of Henry Ford and the American manufacturing empire. A city named for a Revolutionary War hero, it's now majority Muslim and home to the largest mosque in America. Islam is unlike Protestant Christianity or Catholicism or even Judaism, and that it's not part of the Western tradition.
Yes,
is he going to mention that town that Tyler Oliveira was talking about, the one that's
in
like
Texas?
Overrun? Yeah, the one that's overrun by like Orthodox moves. That one where he got like.
Oh, well, no, it's not overrun. What do you mean? They're keeping to themselves and they're just practicing their religion.
Right, which is totally compatible with Christianity, presumably, right?
Not their version of it. That's the truth. We can agree that Islam is masculine and Moodyism is feminine, right? Yeah. Islam really comes out with it.
Revolutionary War hero. It's now majority Muslim and home to the largest mosque in America. Islam is unlike Protestant Christianity or Catholicism or even Judaism, and that it's not part of the Western tradition. It's also a comprehensive ideology, a fusion of religious and political authority in ways that test the limits of Americans' tradition of religious freedom. Christian immigrants, for example, don't demand their own court. Neither do Jews, but Muslims do. Can Muslims make good American citizens? Certainly they.
The Moos just control the court. The Moos just integrate their belief system into our existing court. That's why I said that they didn't create the legal system, they created legalism. They complicated our courts, essentially is what they did. But it's not their own, right? They always fuse their shit to other stuff. It's almost like a woman, how she will just morph her personality to yours to manipulate you.
Can, and many do. But what happens when the scale of Muslim immigration overwhelms the likelihood of assimilation? On April 5th, 2024, hundreds of Muslims, many of them naturalized or natural-born citizens, took to the streets chanting, "Death to America." Just a few months ago, the Hadi Institute in Dearborn held a memorial service for Iran's supreme leader Ali Khamenei after he was killed in the opening moments of America's campaign against Iran. During the ceremony, Khamenei was called, quote, the great leader of our time. Those who built America were called, quote, devil worshippers. The Statue of Liberty was even...
If only we could show, week after week, even today, the things that moves say about our country that are never fucking addressed, you know? If only we had something dedicated to that. But let's talk about what a heritage American is, okay?
That they trade old loyalties for new ones, and we extended the title the way that the late Romans extended it, and it's no wonder that it's having the exact same effect here. Of course, the attack on American identity is no longer just coming from the left. It's also coming from parts of the right.
Yes.
So, wait, he just said that extending it to like everyone was what made Rome great, and that was like awesome. And that's what made America great.
As long as they assimilate, as long as they do a super duper pinky promise, then it's good.
So now he's saying, right, the expansion has gone too far because it
they're not assimilating
the Muslims. Who
the Muslims can't assimilate, but there's some good ones, right?
Okay, so there aren't any other populations that have refused to assimilate or anything like that. It's just the Muslims he's worried about.
We need Islam in the West so the Moos can scapegoat Islam and cry when you scapegoat Moos. That's how it works.
Of course, the attack on American identity is no longer just coming from the left. It's also coming from parts of the right, just in a slightly different form. The current prominence of this divide really erupted during the explosive H-1B visa debate of late 2024. What began as an argument over skilled immigration quickly became a broader national conversation about whether America is fundamentally a creedal nation defined by ideas, principles, and assimilation, or a heritage nation.
You will always implode your country if your countrymen are competing with the entire world.
Yeah.
This is truly the issue, is that we don't have any local regions anymore. You're always competing with the entire world, and that's how you just deflate the confidence of your countrymen. I can't even imagine, like, there's, like, in high school now, like, you can meet people from, like, anywhere online now. Back in my day, you're stuck with me, bitch. There's about fucking 30 of us, okay, that you can really choose from. Now, like, you're competing with the entire world if you're for your job, for intimacy. It's always a competition with the entire fucking world. And I don't know how to combat that. Do you know what I'm saying?
I do.
Yeah.
And but not only that, right? Like, it's in economics they call this like a race to the bottom, right? Where like everyone starts like undercutting like everyone else, and there's a sort of like a moral version of that as well, right? Like all the Indians come over and they just exploit any system they can get a hold of, fake degrees, right? Fake certifications and stuff. Oh yes, sir, I have 20 years experience working in AI, and not everyone will do that. So this is the problem, right? Like whites generally like won't do that. I suppose they're going to have to learn, aren't they?
Oh yeah, but it's like may the best man win, and it's like, well, that was like between citizens, between guys in my town. Of course, you can fly over talent from anywhere in the fucking world. How can I compete with that?
But also, you notice it never includes like the actual most fundamental meritocracy, which is violence.
How do you mean?
Right? Because violence is really the most fundamental meritocracy.
Mm-hmm.
Right? It's always like, oh, meritocracy, this or that, the other, but not violence, right? Well, I mean, not from whites. I mean, other groups can like use violence as much as they like,
Mm-hmm.
Rooted in ancestry, bloodlines, and pre-1965 demographic continuity.
Oh.
That clash propelled terms like heritage American into mainstream conservative discourse, complete with viral charts ranking Americanness by arrival date, explicit rejections of the idea of a propositional nation, and growing...
This is what happens when you realize you've been fucked over for generations. You realize that, right?
Yeah.
I don't have to agree with the blowback to fucking understand it. Like, obviously, yes. When you just find out you've been fucked over, I feel like a lot of us have like this has happened to a lot of us where now we go like, wait a minute, let me look this up. Wait a minute, this is like what the rabbit hole is, and then so at a certain point it's like, yeah, wait a minute, no. We as a people we need to start from somewhere. There needs to be a cutoff somewhere, whether or not it's arbitrary. So I completely understand that.
Yeah, but you can't define it without including the moose, which means you can't define it, which means it will never be defined, which means that like even this is why, by the way, it's taking Jeremy Boring 30,000 words to define this, because basically like the leftist meme, because you can't define it simply, and because you can't define it simply, it is never defined, and edge cases proliferate to the point where the
edge cases.
definition is basically meaningless.
Edging right now, just thinking of those cases.
In order to get to where we need to be collectively, to denaturalize and deport over 120 million people who are only here because of the 1960s immigration reforms. That's right. He wants to denaturalize and deport a third of the country, many of whom were born here, people who've been here for 2 or even 3 generations. A policy that would be deeply immoral if it were even possible, which it isn't. These radical views are increasingly manifesting among right-wing figures as a disordered emphasis on ethnicity and ancestry.
All you had to do was allow white people to collectivize and develop their own culture. Now it's too late.
Yep.
I was always trying to be reasonable and on Jeremy's side, and anyone can look at my YouTube channel in the last year and see how I've tried the entire time. This is the resolution. This is the only resolution that we are given as a people. Okay? Sorry, Jeremy.
I love how it's like simultaneously too complicated and impossible. Because I already gave you like a definition that is like so complicated as to be meaningless. But just in case that wasn't enough, it's also like logistically impossible. Well, why? Oh, because we like let tons of those people like in to like run the machinery of government. So maybe you shouldn't have like let those people into the machinery of government in the first place. Oh no, that would be exclusionary.
Yeah, did you have something for Hart Seller?
I did,
because he'll keep alluding to the 1960s immigration like it was a bad idea, and it's like, okay, Jeremy, why do these bad ideas keep happening that are so bad for the country?
So Emanuel Seller, right, on the famous Hart-Celler Act. Okay, I was looking at his page, and all he did his entire time in the U.S. House of Representatives was just lobby for more immigration. That was all he did the entire times. Right, he chaired the House Committee on the Judiciary. Right, for fucking 11 terms between 1949 and 1973, and was a leading advocate for the liberalization of immigration and naturalization laws from his early stand against the Immigration Act of 1924 to his sponsorship of the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965, which is the Hart-Celler Act. He ranks as the 5th longest serving congressman in history and the longest serving member of either House of Congress in New York's history.
Holy
he
shit.
strongly supported help for Jewish refugees fleeing Europe during World War II. As a chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, he ushered the major civil rights legislation, including the Civil Rights Act of 1964, the Voting Rights Act of 1965, and the Hart-Celler Act of 1965. In the early 1970s, he took a position in opposition to the Women's Equal Rights Amendment. So he opposed women at the end of his life. Weirdly enough, feminism was like a step too far. Weirdly enough, right?
Oh, did he push through with the 25th Amendment?
Hang on. So is this the 25th Amendment, the Equal Rights Amendment? Opposing an amendment. Chat, does anyone know?
Because I'm reading that. So the 25th Amendment, Seller, as chairman of the House Judiciary Committee, introduced this constitutional amendment to clarify presidential succession and procedures for transferring power if a president becomes incapacitated. Ratified. So he also got a fucking constitutional amendment put through on top of everything else.
He was head of the House Judiciary Committee for 25 years or something.
Wow, what a prominent man in our history. As American as you and I.
Right. Obviously.
Early life. What do you think that says?
Oh my God, look at that picture. Oh, he looks like a lovely guy.
Yeah, but his maternal grandfather was a Catholic, so see? It wasn't completely Mooish, see?
Right, so he made his first important speech on the House floor during consideration of the Johnson-Reed Immigration Act of 1924. 3 years earlier, Congress had imposed a quota that limited immigration for persons of any nationality to 3% of that nationality present in the United States. That seems very reasonable, obviously, right? With an annual admission limit of only 356,000 immigrants. This is 1910.
Right.
Right? The national origin system was structured to preserve the ethnic and religious identity of the United States by reducing immigration from Eastern and Southern Europe, thereby excluding many Moos. Right. And some Catholics, but something tells me this was not about the Catholics.
Mm-hmm.
Seller was vehemently opposed to the Johnson-Reed Act, which passed the Isolationist Congress and was signed into law. Yes, he did not like isolationism. Seller had found his cause, and for the next 4 decades, he vigorously spoke out in favor of eliminating the national origin quotas as a basis for immigration restriction. So there we go.
So
right?
Jeremy, that was a huge reason why that happened. He never clarifies that, though. He'll just allude to having an issue with it, and then his clapping seal audience is like, oh my God, Hercules, Hercules.
He also was strongly for diplomatic relations between America and the Vatican. Interesting.
Okay. That's for a later date.
Yeah.
Very nice, though.
Yeah, he opposed the isolationists, blah, blah, blah.
What was that about the Holly? Real quick, what was that about the Holly? Stroll up.
Yep, he forcefully advocated that the United States should relax immigration laws on an emergency basis to rescue those fleeing the Holly. In 1943, he called President Roosevelt's immigration policy cold and cruel and blasted the glacier-like attitude of the State Department. Seller was also a Zionist who supported the recognition of Israel and requested the lifting of the American embargo.
Oh, so he wanted open immigration to Israel then too, right?
Well, at that time, Palestine was occupied by Palestinians. So he would have wanted open
That's
borders
awkward.
for them to bring all the Zionists in. But I presume not now. I mean, obviously he's dead now, but something tells me, Right, so there you go.
Once something outlives its purpose,
Yeah, of course.
Terrific.
Changed over time. Certainly the particulars matter. Had the original settlers been Spanish Catholics instead of English Protestants, America would look a lot more like Mexico, and the greatest experiment in ordered liberty in world history would never have occurred.
Would we look a lot more like Mexico? Isn't this kind of the blood and soil issue? Would we really have looked like Mexico?
Well, I mean, I don't know.
Really? I think we...
Wait. So if America had been settled by the Spanish...
Catholics.
By Spanish Catholics, and they still let in tons of people from like Western Europe, it
Right.
probably was more like Argentina, actually.
I don't think Mexico.
I don't think Mexico, but whatever.
But such was the genius of those particular people at that particular time that they created a particular set
Oh my god, particular people, particular time. This is just like first grader fucking propaganda.
of ideas that allowed a
Doesn't it sound like he's speaking to a fucking child when he says this? Like, this is what James Lindsay does.
Is this whole thing a monologue?
Yeah.
For 42 minutes.
He's a talker. Yep. He just monologues. Why do you think I have such specific and quick timestamps to bounce around from, dude? He fucking just keeps going.
Dude.
unified people to form out of disparate peoples. E pluribus unum. 87 years after the founding, standing on a battlefield where 50,000 men had fallen, Abraham Lincoln didn't say the war was being fought to preserve a people or a bloodline. He said, quote, 407 years ago, our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created.
Yes.
Our fathers.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, does not that imply like genetics? Right? I mean, like, I guess
that's a good point.
Anyone could be your father, I guess, right? I mean, we just don't know.
Don't
right?
you love
like,
the proposition and not the blood? See how the proposition we get to like endlessly pontificate about it, even though it's just the country that I fucking live in?
Yeah, because that's the entire point, right? The proposition can always be like finagled and all
that.
It's so complicated. Whereas you can't finagle ethnicity. Ethnicity is like an actual factual thing, as is religion.
Yeah, like Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, great.
Equal. Dedicated to a proposition. Not descended from a people. This is what people are referring to when they describe America as a
Did the proposition come from a people? Does anything come from the people, or is it just fucking emerge out of thin air?
Propositional nation. Catholic apologist G.K. Chesterton put it plainly after visiting the country in 1921. America, he wrote, is the only nation in the world that is founded on a creed. That creed is set forth with dogmatic and even theological lucidity in the Declaration of Independence, perhaps the only piece of practical politics that is also theoretical politics and also great literature. America is the only nation in the world founded on a creed. Not blood, not geography, not an ethnic inheritance, a creed, written down, available to any person on earth to read. That is what we mean when we say that America is exceptional. We're not claiming that the people are exceptional. What we mean is that America itself is an exception.
Hold on.
Way to bash your own country.
Hold on. I need to just get through this line first. Wait a minute. It'll be very quick.
We're not claiming that the people are exceptional. What we mean is that America itself is an exception to the norm.
Yeah, that's why we're exceptional, because we're the exception. You know, when something's the exception, you call it exceptional. I just love that. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Way to bash your own country. Oh, it's not like Americans are exceptional in any way, shape, or form.
Yeah, we're exexceptional because we're the exception. That's how words work.
America could basically be Somalia, right? Really, if you think about it, or South Sudan. So there's nothing exceptional about the Americans. I would fucking disagree. I think there's a lot of exceptional shit about the Americans.
No, you don't understand. Exceptional just means you're the exception.
Oh, for God's sake.
That's how he's using the word exceptional, dude. I've never heard that in my life. All right, we're going to wrap this up very soon.
Okay.
Ran overwhelmingly in one direction for 2.5 centuries. People weren't drawn here by ancestry. They were drawn here by the proposition and by the success of that proposition. We get a glimpse of it at Sinai, where God called what Scripture describes as a mixed multitude, Hebrew slaves and others who had attached themselves to that company, out of Egypt and into the wilderness. In an ancient world organized almost entirely around blood, soil, and dynasty, God established something different at Sinai, a people bound by covenant and promise, not exclusively by bloodline. Eric Metaxas, in his book Revolution, traces a
Yeah, but can we have like a little bit? So do you see how he does like the not exclusively by bloodline?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then does it mean nothing? He never says when bloodline means something, by the way.
I am quite frankly, I didn't know this, and it's good to like learn that people were not in any way attracted to America by all the Americans living there, right? And that America just sort of, existed sort of ab initio, right? Like
access to whiteness.
Out of the void, without being a result of the people that were like actually there. That's quite amazing. I to know that people were drawn to American because of its large Somali population.
Right, and when you're an American, right, and you have a child, you go, listen, you're not a people, you're an idea, right? That's right. That feels American, doesn't it?
We're a people. You're just an idea.
Yeah, I mean, this is how you would raise a child, I imagine. All right, last clip. And you have to do super duper pinky promise that you're going to follow the rules here.
Point, noting that freed men sought citizenship, quote, not as aliens nor as exiles, but as Americans. Thomas says the creed is real, but it was always tied to genuine belonging, not mere geography, and that a temporary both counts, having no other homeland and having fought and bled in the same battles as every other citizen. In fact, Thomas quoted Frederick Douglass to make the point, noting that freed men sought citizenship, quote, not as aliens nor as exiles, but as mere geography, and that a temporary visitor's child having neither doesn't automatically qualify. And if we're going to grant the single most valuable status on earth, American citizenship, we ought to take seriously the oath that's supposed to accompany it.
The oath. The sacred oath. Here we go.
Wait.
Yeah.
Do you swear that on a cheese sandwich? Right? Because, right, you gotta realize, right, if you make an oath on a cheese sandwich, right, the god of cheese sandwich, like the whole fucking point of an oath, right, was that you believe in a higher power and that you swear upon that higher power. And if you falsely swear upon that higher power, you have committed a damnable sin, right? What's the point if you swear on a fucking cheese sandwich? What, the cheese sandwich god's gonna like come down and like smite your ass? I
mean, is that? It's not iconography. What would you? It's if you're swearing on a Bible, what would you call the item that you're swearing upon? Not an icon, because an icon's a person.
No, I mean, I guess I don't know.
A symbol?
In Moodyism, that probably would maybe technically be idolatry. I don't know. It's very, very vague, like the way they do it. A relic, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just curious.
New citizen actually swears word for word, hand raised, in front of a federal officer or a federal judge. Quote, I hereby declare on oath that I absolutely and entirely renounce and abjure all
fucking
allegiance
nerd
and fidelity to any foreign prince, potentate, state, or sovereignty
Homo.
of whom or which I have heretofore been a subject or citizen. That I will support and defend the Constitution and laws of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic.
Yeah. Defend the Constitution. Defend the right for illegals to create a citizen in my fucking country. That is the most radicalizing thing I think I've ever experienced. It was up in the air before, but now it's been fucking like set in stone.
Then how can you be a fucking dual citizen and be an American? If what he is saying is true, right?
Yes.
Then anyone who comes over, right, who is naturalized, should have to forswear all other citizenships. There are a bunch of countries that do this, by the way, right?
Yeah.
Lithuania, off the top of my head. If you want to,
No, we're exceptional, Fist. We're the exception. We don't get to do what other countries do.
Just shut.
We're special. We wear a helmet.
Right? Like which is it? You bloviating cockwomble. Like,
oh no, he's busting out the bloviating cockwomble. Hey, Fist, I'll send this back to you. Okay, you can drive for the rest of this. Okay, that's how you know how the pressure meter's going up. Starts breaking out the cockwomble.
Right, is that the end of this, or
I'll make it the end. You did a great job.
Okay,
sitting through that. When at a certain point you feel bad for someone. It was funny at first, but now I'm actually putting you through psychological damage, and it's the country's birthday tomorrow. I don't want you to have to recover too much.
It's fine. Listen, right? Like from my point of view, right? Like it's obvious like where America is. You can just look around, right? They do sometimes say that the eyes of a foreigner can see a place like more clearly. Not to say that you should go.
Nope. That's 100% applicable to what's happening now because of what you're going through in your country, and that's why I specifically will have segments and make a joke and be like, "Oh yeah, dude, You think that's bad? Imagine having Trump president. Because of how much my country sometimes is like let down. They don't realize what they have. You don't know what you got till it's gone.
But like, I'm not saying right like foreigners should come in and start being like, hey, let me tell you about how like America like includes like me and like 1 million people that I brought over.
Right.
Just that, right? Like the when you're in the character of a place like all the time, right? It can sometimes just become the air you breathe. Whereas like when you come there from somewhere else, it becomes very like when people are like, what even is an American? Well, it's very fucking easy for me to see what an American is, right? It's like it's so goddamn obvious, right? Okay, super chats.
Yes, sir.
Okay, let's go. Okay. 2 of the chickens for $5. Speaking of Return to the Land, how long till they get back to me? It was submitted on the 24th and have been checking the spam box regularly.
It can take. I swear, people might think that like I talk to Eric and asking these questions. I just know these things. It can take a couple of weeks. They are having a good amount of people apply, so there's a lot of people. So I heard from a couple of fellows in the background that it sometimes does take a couple of weeks because of the influx of people.
Right. Okay. And plus, with Ardy driving all the traffic to them.
Fucking apparently. Taking a long time, apparently.
New GM for $10.
And you know he's rocking everywhere.
Thank you. That moment when, despite having had a 16-hour acid trip, I was still today years old when I realized the 70s animation style was psychedelic inspired. Like, almost. Yeah, man.
You realize where these things come from.
And then you go down the rabbit hole of how the CIA like pushed acid on everyone for social engineering reasons.
Which I believe we covered last stream in a very delightful 3-minute AI video. really good refresher course.
Just John, please, for $10.
Thank ya, bruv. Oh, mate.
I have minor levels of disposable income as of Wednesday. Good to see you, gentlemen. Say I was a bit late. Can you find folks do the rest of the stream in reverse, starting with the outro? Of course. Thank you very much. Just John, please. Deal weed for $5. We're going to end on a white pill for the 250th 4th of July. Right? I should have saved that fuck America clip. I like that America fuck yeah.
I wanted to make sure you got it in there.
New GM for $5. To quote our dear leader and monarch Ardy, ain't no helicopter high enough.
Yeah, that was the most recent video when I got mad at a comment. I went, ain't no helicopter high enough. And that was it. I didn't expound upon it. That's dude,
no Pinochet fashion enough.
Dude, I am just having to find ways to deal with the imagery in my head since this decision that I'm telling you, dude, it broke me. The illegals being able to make a citizen in my country, and there's nothing we can do about it. And the Constitution has radicalized me in ways I never thought possible.
To keep me away from Moo, baby. CSI for $20.
Oh, he's rocking everywhere too. Thank you.
Thank you very much, mate. I knew that was going to be a groaner, but wow, I think I hurt myself with that one. Here, take something more for the trouble. Don't restart the stream. I don't think I want to relive that.
One time only, please.
And Adam Keeney for $20.
Thank you, mate.
I think you're new. Thank you very, very much. Reminder that the Declaration not only says all men are created equal, but also calls Indians merciless savages whose known rules of warfare is an undisguised destruction of all ages, sexes, and conditions. That sounds a bit racist, bro. I don't know,
That must have been on page 6.
Yeah, it must have been. Theodore McCarthy for $10.
There he is.
Much as Americans might hate to admit it, helping revolutionaries is the definition of subversive behavior.
Yeah. Right?
I mean, that's the really funny thing, right? Like, when the American government comes out and they're like, we have to fight back against this terrorism and stuff. And it's like, yeah, but that's literally how your country was formed. I guess it's
Well, what's crazy to me is how much OPSEC the right wing has to engage in the United States, while the government will just let 2 illegals make a citizen and then that citizen can live overseas and then come back and become president. Why the fuck the level of OPSEC that we're used to having to do that the fucking country doesn't do is incredible to me. The subversion they allow.
JLM Knight for 5 Canadian loonies. Thank you, mate.
There he is.
To be fair, I think Hebrew covenant theology helped me with my year 11 physics project. No way did I deserve a 98%. Okay. Theodore McCarthy for $5. Thank you, mate. Anglo-Saxon isn't internet lingo. It's been used to refer to English-speaking people since the Middle Ages. Boring is a twat. Yes, well, I do agree with you.
Oh, but when you read his comments, thank you so much, Jeremy. Oh, that's great. What did he say? Can you guys repeat what he said? No, but it's great. I feel smart, and that's the important part.
Zafari for $10. Thank you very much, man.
Ubuntu.
Utterly deranged that these people will point to small contained minorities such as Moos, blacks, Hessians, Catholics, etc., to make the case that there is no ethno-religious foundation of a nation. Yeah.
They love the exceptions. It's their favorite thing.
No, what they do is they love to universalize, right? They say, like, our wishes are in fact your wishes. Our problems are in fact your problems. They just universalize everything. And that's how you, as a majority, have to spend all of your time caring about issues that only affect a minority, because if you don't, you're a meanie. And it sucks. Like,
I know, but that's really what it is. You're not even you're not being, as they would say, bad faith when you're saying that.
Yeah. New Jam for $10.
You know it's rocking everywhere.
Nuji, he's back for seconds, bros. Blood alone hasn't achieved as much as Creed, but Creed alone hasn't survived what Blood alone has. Both are humbled, but not destroyed by Christianity. Oh, I like that.
Yes, but also imagine talking about a cake and it's like, oh, so you think you just need eggs? Oh, so you think you just need flour? It's like, I'm trying to talk about all the fucking things and how each of them, how they're fucking important, but it's impossible to talk to you about it.
Yeah, I like that, Nuge. That's very deep. That's going to be the big thing. Zafari again for $10.
There he is.
Hide your bicycles.
Would you rob a liquor store?
Thanks, Safari. Appreciate it, mate. Creedal nationhood can only work if the people in an area want it. Forcing it onto a massive state is dumb. Let people have different standards govern themselves. The Hoppian in me is screaming. Yeah, but the thing is, right, once you start getting multiracialism, multi-ethnicism, and multiculturalism, you need a political formula that can bind all those people together. And the more distance between those groups, the thinner that political formula becomes. This is why, like, the UK is like breaking apart, for example, because the thing they've got is like a mile wide and an inch deep, and it's just ridiculous. So yeah, but I agree. You can't like force a creed on people, right? Unless that creed is military force, right?
But that's what I'm saying. What if they don't assimilate? Or to make them assimilate, you need to make sure they assimilate. We have this lackadaisical attitude of assimilate. Like, no, if what you're saying is true, Jeremy, we have to force them to assimilate, that to make sure they assimilate, which we don't do, which makes your piece of paper null and void.
Because you can have force as a political formula, right? Like you literally can be like, the reason we are in charge is because we've got all the military power, and if you like fuck with us, we'll like mess with you. That is a perfectly acceptable. But trying to do that in actuality while using a political formula of like, hey man, we're just like doing this like voluntarily, man, right? It's like part of creed. Everyone's saying is retarded. That's why, in my opinion, one of the reasons why the West is losing their mind, because they're trying to still pretend to be this like ultra liberal thing while like on the ground they're actually utilizing authoritarianism.
That's why it's a psyop. It is constant dissonance between what you're being told and what and the effect in reality.
Yeah, exactly. Good comment, Safari. Thank you.
James
Lindsay's hands for $5. Need a Jeremy Boring's ears gimmick account.
I'm still infatuated by his forehead. That is quite the skull on the man.
We really need some like AI caricatures that sort of enhance his ears and forehead. That's a good
technology is there.
Mr. Hands. Solon the Lich for 200 ass.
The ass man return.
Man, that's a lot of ass, mate. Fucking, he's gonna need 2 airplane seats to fit that much ass. Crossword items, 4 letters. Self-appointed chosen tribe won't assimilate and demand private laws. Jeremy Boredom. It's the Muslims.
That's why. Why else? Why else do we need the Muslims in the West? It's so the Moos can go, oh, we're not them. Those are your enemies.
Muslims. That's fucking
Muslims. Look at these Muslims, Robin. Look at these Muslims.
New Jam for $5. Ironic that Emmanuel Seller is basically a literal description of Judas. Yeah. Zafari again for $5. Thank you, mate. This guy is actually disgusting. He only cares about the empire, not the people. He hates Americans. I will not Fed post. Yeah. No, look good looking at
you're not a people.
Channel that money into channel that rage into super chats.
You're not a people. All right. That's not what this country is. We're the exception. I mean, that's where the liberalism becomes a punishment upon us. We're always the bigger people. We always have to excuse the behavior of other people because they're not from here. It's like that's how it manifests, Jeremy. Okay, so whatever you have in your head of what the country is or what it's supposed to be, it's not lining up with the reality, and that's really the contention people have that aren't in your chat, that aren't in your comments.
It's the ordeal of civility in reverse. Now, instead of the original ordeal being migrants having to assimilate, Moorish migrants having to assimilate to WASP culture. Now the WASPs, everybody else is undergoing this ordeal.
They hate anything God related. They hate. It's who they are.
Yeah. Sunday math for $5. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob.
In Moodyism, it would be on the name of the Lord or the title. To do so in vain would be to violate the second commandment. I'm sure they've got some Torah some Talmudic workaround for that.
Nope, that's the one they can't get around. They can get around all the other ones.
Thank you, Sunday Math. I appreciate that. Jam for $10.
There he is, mate.
This is why I don't trust pagans in the movement. The founding fathers weren't hostile enough to non-Christians, and now a former pastor minister is claiming America isn't Christian. Yeah, see? I mean, he's got a point. He's got a fucking point.
Yeah.
Sunday Math for $5. Remember how to use your Roman missiles. They are the last line of defense against the Talmuds.
Is that a Roman missile thing?
Sunday Math for another $5. Thank you. Catholics are not a minority. We own the universe. That's what Catholic means.
Oh, it does mean universal. I mean,
it does.
Isn't Orthodox Catholic? The word Catholic is in some variation of Orthodox Church, I believe.
Yeah. Well, actually, the word Catholic is in the creed, in one holy Catholic and Apostolic Church.
That's yes.
Yeah. So Catholic means universal. Yeah.
See, I knew that. It's rubbing off on me. I don't even know how I knew that.
And Mighty Meme King for $2. We need a Meat Canyon Jeremy Boring.
Do we? Do we really need any other versions of him? I think we're doing fine with the version that we have. I don't see it being improved anytime soon.
Right.
Right,
We're at the end of the 3 hours. Let's get out of here. Thank you so much to everyone who super chatted. Oh wait, how we got
anything
one.
You're hyping?
Got one more.
Yeah.
Jam for $5. Sorry if I'm starting fights with pagans. I'm just frustrated. It's all right, mate. It's all right. We're all friends in here. Yes. You can now watch last night's episode of Clown-Based Lifeforms over on the channel. It got copyright struck because I was covering The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street from the Twilight Zone. And despite that being made in 1960, they're still very, very touchy about you using it for political criticism. So I talk about basically sort of post-World War II sci-fi and how it was being used for social engineering goals. We cover The Day the Earth Stood Still and The Monsters Are Due on Maple Street. And there's a bunch of Black American food slop as well. If you're into that, come on over and check it out. Also, if you are frustrated by the fact it's in about the last hour that all the stuff is cut out, you can find it over on my Rumble channel.
Very cool.
Just search for Newsfist. And there'll be an interview out tomorrow night with Not Me, Not You, where we talk about the 3 different kinds of evil, which was pretty good.
Very nice.
Final words, Ardy?
Either tomorrow, at some point this weekend, I want to do a stream on this conversation. If you don't know who Mark Collette is, he has been a pro-white nationalist, whatever you want to call, for like 26 years. There was like a documentary done on him, I think when he was like 20 or something like that.
Yeah,
So I
he's
kind of
old.
want to watch parts of that documentary and then have this conversation. Frojax did actually a very good job answering his, like, because he has really detailed questions, Mark Collette, as you can imagine. They actually did a substantially good job answering his questions. So this is going to be a way more in-depth, philosophical, but also pragmatic conversation for pro-white movement that I want to sink my teeth into at some point this weekend when I have time to curate it.
Wait,
So
before we go.
Yeah.
Happy 4th of July, Ameri Bros. Like, you know, you guys are great. I hope you all have like a lovely day, hang out with your families, and God bless America. American titties. Yeah.
American titties. Mama, let me be. All right, I'm singing. All right, we got to go.
All right. See you later, everyone. Happy 4th of July. Good night.
Happy 4th, fellas. Have a good one.